9.
That's a lot.
On Super Ken. Like, that's gotta hurt for him. So these picks are going to be imperative. And if we take a look at the earlier, graphics, we now see that Pikatron have first pick. Alter Ego actually have the second pick. As we're entering, ladies and gentlemen, to the drafting phase for game number 1. Our opening match of the day. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, this is no longer a best of 3. It is now a best of 5. And here it is, the drafting phase presented to you by our official tournament smartphone, Samsung Galaxy S14 FE. And we're going straight into it. Bigatron with their bands. We have the Gatot, the Jushin, the Fanny, Alter Ego Respawn with the Chip, and the Matilda. What's going to be the last band, Sheffin?
Oh, I think Suyo might be a ban here. Maybe an Edith. Some kind of limitation towards the flexibility of Bigatron Alpha, because they're known to be very flexible in the draft, especially with the Loop on the XP lane. They're much more prominent in their micro department, but let's see what they're gonna choose here. There's a lot of options.
Don't forget about Khalid, because both of the XP laner like Luke and Nino are good at Khalid and Edith. Like Sheffin predicted before, he's getting banned. Now Suyo, this is gonna be first pick for the Bigatron. I think they're gonna need to prioritize the Suyo.
That's fast.
That was quick.
Yeah, it's just like that in MPL PH2. Now for Coach Rect, he has an option to pick the counter. Not really a counter, but a really good matchup against the Suyo, which is an alpha. But I think he's gonna hide it towards the third pick. Right now,
Khalid?
Khalid. I guess for Nino, he really likes to use the Khalid, right? And it really brings up a lot of potential in the rotation department. So I think that's a possibility here.
Okay, but circling back onto the Suyo pick, right? Why is this Suyo pick, especially now that we're just opening MPL ID, right? Why is it such an important contested pick, and where is the power of the Suyo?
I think, right, the first time I saw this hero and the kit, it's just, this hero is a combination of Nolan, Julian, and Yi Sun-shin all at once. Well, the burst damage is not that great as them, but you can see the flexibility in the way he approaches the team fight. He can poke a little bit, just go out. That's why he's been very prominent in the draft in PH. And right now, Coach Rex still going for the Hylos and the Yves. I like the Yves though. The Hylos part, now you're gonna get countered by the 1-1, so you gotta watch out for them, pretty much punishing overextension.
Yeah, because they already see Hylos being picked by Alter Ego. I think 1-1 is the best option right now to have very quick open weakness to the opponents, but Alpha, they need to secure it right now, because from head-to-head, Alpha and Suyo are on par, right? If they lose Alpha on the second bending phase, it's gonna be bad for Alter Ego.
See, I understand that, but this is a 1-1 pick into a Yves. Isn't the 1-1 weak against the Yves because of the lack of range?
Maybe, but in terms of kiting 1-1, there's no one that can absolutely, he's the best marksman for that.
And don't forget, Eman is using Malefic Gun.
That is true.
So it can add more range to 1-1.
And also, if Rek didn't ban the Rafaela here, which I don't think that's going to be the case, Rafaela is going to be banned for Alter Ego, because once you have this very high mobility composition, very high mobility main 5, it's going to be very hard for you to engage, because you have to be very calculative in all of your approaches. Meanwhile, Coach Rura with the Phobius ban, even though they don't have an XP laner yet, so Luke might see something that's a bit outside of the box here.
What are we used to? Cho? Do you think Cho EXP could make an appearance here?
For a setup, yes. Cho and Kaja might be there, but I don't know, against a Hylos, it kind of brings up the question, like, do you want to use this pick-off hero to further enhance 1-1 potential? I think the answer is still going to be yes, but what's going to be the best option is the question for me.
Yeah, because they lack of the XP lane, and for the roamer itself, I think that's why for Bigatron, Rafaela is Franco. So Rafaela is open. Are we gonna see the old Key, who's using the Rafaela to supporting their gold lane? Back in the day, Key is supporting the Max at the gold lane on Bigatron.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I remember that. It was a long time ago though.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Very hazy memory of that. But in the second phase now, we do still have one more pick that Bigatron can ban out here. Do they want to go for an Irritel ban? I mean, if they are planning to protect this 1-1 in the lane, looking for the 1-1 to be the prio lane, We've seen that the Irrital has become a really good lane against it, but no, they go for the Harith instead.
I just realized something. Harith on MLBB is really priority.
Yeah.
But now, it getting banned on second banning phase. They didn't even care about Harith picking on the first phase.
Well, for Alter Ego, I think it makes sense. But for Bigatron Alpha, the one that used Harith the most, I believe, in the regular season, because Eman just really loves that hero, it's a bit surprising. As we're gonna jump into the second picking phase here for Alter Ego, we got a quite fun fact here for you guys. Throughout the MPL Season 14 playoffs, Chip has a 100% pick and ban rate with 0 picks and 36 bans.
That's what I said, yeah.
The macro.
Yeah, the macro players, like if the Rogue are having a very high macro, Chip will be very useful. It's like you have the win rate above 80% if you got Chip on your team.
Wait, interesting. Arlet. We haven't seen Arlet in quite some time here, boys. Why do you think the Arlet makes an appearance here for Alter Ego?
They need a setup to bring back down some of the members of Bigatron Alpha towards the real world manipulation, and especially against a 1-1, that is a tough test. And I think Arlet, with his range and also his CC, can do a good job at that. You have to really time it with the quote-unquote purify that 1-1 has.
So are we looking at Arlet EXP?
Yes,
Hylos Roam?
Still flex, still flex.
I think it's still gonna be Arlet XP, to be honest.
Okay.
But Nino loves to use Hylos, but Tigreal and Cho.
I mean, we were talking about the Atlas. If we're talking about El Momento, then Key on the Tigreal. That's a hero that really fits his identity.
Yeah, because it's have the same playstyle like Atlas before, using the implosion to initiate the team fights. I think it's gonna be important for Bigatron so they don't depend too much on Luke. So Key now can have the momentum.
What was the last pick?
It was
Moskov.
Moskov, yeah. And what I really like about this Tigreal is the fact that even though the Moskov and the Yif will probably use the Purify, it is a 1-1. You don't really care about the backliner. You care about the frontliners to change your crossbow tank towards some of the backliners. That's the ideal situation, ideal scenario for Bigatron Alpha. So I think in the draft, I kind of prefer the composition.
So it's gonna be a front to back playstyle from Alter Ego, but for the Bigatron, I think it's a kiting game.
So which draft would you prefer, Colius?
For me, I think first game is for Bigatron.
Bigatron, Colius, you?
Bigatron.
Bigatron as well. So 2-0 for Bigatron Alpha right now, ladies and gentlemen, just based on the drafts. But we're going to throw it over to our casters to bring you game number 1.
Welcome to MOBA Legends.
Thank you to our panelists, and here we go to game number 1 of match number 1. Solid drafts all around the line. But give us a few thoughts, Arashi.
Well, game number 1 already shaping up to be quite interesting. You're already seeing the 2 purifiers as expected from Alter Ego, but man, if you look at it, it's a trade-off between having a lot of big moments from Bigatron and a long, drawn-out, poke, slow, continuous composition from Alter Ego. Not to mention, with the Spear of Destruction, I want to see how Alter Ego wants to play this macro game, but look at this poke, man. This mid lane is brutal.
Super Luke, though, already rotating early with the concussive blast. Oh, taken very low. The initiation forward. Roundel getting the revitalized. One more hit for Super Luke, but now he's going to be stun locked down. Luke might be taken out. Pops in the Shampoo and the G Kundo. And he gets out. But Nino doesn't want to commit that flicker.
Already using the Revitalize very early on, though. Owen will have it as a playmaking tool for quite a while. Look at Nile, though, abusing the Alpha pick.
Now gonna be chased down. Moreno walking forward. Nile barely getting on. And Mon walking forward as well. Nile getting caught. And Mon very low. Still able to survive. But Heis goes in forward. Gets a kill. That's a Spear of Misery to lock him down and pin him down. Key with a shove back. Heis great purify. Superkin unable to get the execute. Owen throwing down against Key, but will be under the turret. Superkin looking for the snipe onto Heis. Will be forced to back away from this wave.
Oh, the aggressiveness early on in the game. I mean, Nile is so strong with the Alpha. Level 4 already. Sieging, or rather invading that purple buff. And Aman had to die in the process, but High still survives. Aman might look for Owen here.
Yeah, poking him down, and look at the timing, Arashi. Why did he do that? The turtle spawning in, that's why.
The right moment here to just exert all that pressure. Alter Ego definitely wants to try and go for this, especially with the Alpha presence, but with all the big ultimates available to Bigatron, they might be forced to let it go.
He's walking up, Roundel, no ult, Moreno stealing with the glorious pathway. Owen, a bit late to the skirmish right now, pops in Revitalize. Super Luke with the way to Dragon coming down. Super Ken able to lock that down. Nino walking forward, has the final slash, brings it away. Only gets Super Ken though. And Bigatron Alpha will take the dub. They will pull back.
They get the turtle for Super Ken. That is, of course, an advantage for For Bigatron Alpha Ultra Ego, they have to fall back. But now you see so much fighting happening in the first few minutes. But taking a look at the sustainability, who survives the fight longer, Arashi?
Well, if you talk about surviving the fight longer in... Oh! Nino! With the solo play, I was gonna say that Ultrigo has a bit of an edge due to the Hylas, but before that, realized talent predictions by our new application, GoPay.
Unanimous decision for all but one. Papulong in the hands of the three masked men. He votes for Ultra Ego. Classic Papulong.
Yeah, are you really surprised with that outcome? Oh, look at that though!
Eman gonna be chunked low. Highs has the SOD. Owen from the back with a glorious pathway. Can he escape? Eman able to space away. Super with a re-engage over the Highs. Very low. One more shot. Good implosion to lock him down. Crossbow attack is ready, but Superken just getting rid of all of them in the back line. Pops in forward with the blink. Now the Spear of Alpha over again, but Moreno has rotated faster, and Superken will get that elimination.
Oh my goodness. The rotation is so solid from Bigatron Alpha. They might look for a dive.
Real world manipulation. Moreno tanking it up now with a full dive. It's another execute for Superken.
Oh boy, we keep talking about Suyo and how it's so good when you're snowballing. Superken definitely getting all the value.
Wait, the Dragon pinned down. Nino able to use the Vengeance. Another lockdown over. Super Luke still escaping. Final slash. Great one. Shunpu. Luke gets out. Away from the SOD.
Super Luke with the fleet footwork. And this is what Cho gives you. It gives you that mobility. It gives you the advantage to just jump into the backline and kick someone into straight into the bearing arms of Bigatron Alpha. Is this Cho pick that strong in this game?
I think it's useful when you're trying to contest pressure. With the Cho taking away so much attention, it opens up the possibilities for Key to come in unexpected as well. Even with the Purifies, it's still gonna be a very valuable resource burnt out. But look at Moreno getting jumped on.
Locked in a bit. Able to dash away. Bigatron Alpha with control. Glorious pathway by Owen. Super Luke look at his own Nile. Bigatron give the control over for now. Ultra Ego will take control. Super Luke though still in the flanks. Over to Nile. That's an implosion. And a way to drag locking him down, but there's no one there to follow it up. Now with the Spear of Alpha over to Key. Now with the final splash as well. Nile securing it.
Nino.
That's Vengeance over. Nino with the chase. Now one more shot. Super Ken shut down by Nino.
Oh my goodness, that is an important kill towards Super Ken. He was snowballing, but he was cut off by Nino. And that is also what the Arlet offers to you, Super Luke. He will be just fine.
Just the aggression, the crowd control too. Bigatron, they kind of stacked the crowd control from the way of the dragon along with the implosion. They should have staggered it a bit more and ensured that Super Ken can get the guaranteed retribution. But Nile was hit by both almost at the same time. Now with the glowing one secured for Roundel, skipping the Enchanted Talisman, going for the Demon Shoes to ensure he has enough mana for these fights. It's gonna slow down the regeneration, the survivability from Bigatron. But for now, Ultrigo has to keep a watchful eye for the big moments from Bigatron, the big engages. That is still definitely a big possibility.
Yeah, this is what Ultra Ego wants to do. They want to keep on going towards the backline of Bigatron Alpha. They have that crash potential, that collapse potential in the hands of Owen. With the glorious pathway, he will open it up, and Eman might be the next victim.
RWM used up already. The zone Eman away. Super Luke will walk forward, trying to go for the pick, but the turret will be taken away by Ultra Ego.
That's a zoning play from Ultrigo, initially using the glorious pathway and then the real manipulation not to do damage. Just to zone people away so that Highs can get those free hits on the turrets. Very intelligent game plan. But by the way, Moreno went for our first item, Starlium. That's a unique take I haven't seen in quite a while at least.
Yeah.
Definitely giving him a lot more damage, a lot more ways to burst people down. And it seems like for Bigatron, again, it's about getting that big one moment, which is why the Way of the Dragon has been such a respected tool by Ultrigo, right? They're avoiding any chance of Luke making the plays happen because they know that they are lacking when it comes to those insane one-shot potential.
But is that what's going to be the main goal of Valentina? Because mostly, if we talk about Valentina, yes, she does deal a lot of damage, but she's mostly the enabler. Going for the first Starlium site might be an egoistical move for Moreno, do you think?
Gives him a lot of pure true damage as well with the Starlium, so in a way, it works well against Owen. That's going to be stacking a lot of those defensive stats. But right now, look at this, Super Luke already zoning.
Going to the back, finding it, way to drag and lock them down as well. Super Ken will be able to lock that down. Now the real world manipulation adds up with another real world manipulation. Nino with a flicker forward, implosion! El Momento finding 3! Roundel taken out, Owen has been isolated from the team. Moskov though, take a look at Highs, will get another turret to trade it for the 3 members that he lost.
We talk about the new man on the block, the enabler Super Ken, but still, El Momento looms in the darkness and comes out on top as the frontliner of Bigatron Alpha.
chase over. Final splash, Nino will give all the weakness points away with the Spear of Misery too.
Oh.
Nino using the vengeance very well, but the jump back will be Nino. No! Dumping back and forth, Moreno finally splashes that damage to take him down.
Whew. Nino, man, absolutely on fire right now. But Bigatron, they're just doing so well in the early game. They're doing so much better at just finding those moments. All Trico were able to actually kind of equalize because they have the Moskov, but the fact that the Spear of Destruction did not land in that crucial fight definitely made it quite awkward for All Trico.
Yeah, but a new game factor by the new application GoPay. Suyo becomes the 79th hero to debut in MPL ID Season 14 out of a total of 126 heroes in MLBB. So, of course, a newly released hero becomes very significant in terms of the drafts and all the picks coming in from teams playing today. And Alter Ego, or rather Bigatron, will be the first team to touch their hands on this new hero.
And look at the itemization, man. Third item, Wind of Nature for Eman. He respects all of that dive potential coming through, especially from Nino and Nile later on. But Roundel can still be a massive problem for him. Aside from that, Thunderbolt for Super Luke. That means more chase, more utility, more damage, and tankiness as well. But you have to look at Super Ken on the Suyo, definitely. 2k gold ahead, War Axe with the Queen's Wings, a lot more survivable due to the damage reduction he has in the fighter form as well. And we have talked about the damage coming in from the Suyo again and again, but Super Ken is making it look like the mobility is also an underrated aspect of this hero.
Oh, conceal play. Moreno might look for something. Super Luke pops forward looking for Owen, but no. They will just zone out for the Lord setup.
Yeah, no real need to go in for the skirmish just yet. Now walking forward, Roundel is in an off position. Super Luke walking forward, way to Dragon as well. This should be a free take, and it will be. Super Luke chased down by the Glorious Pathway. Owen puts it down. Super Luke with the flicker. Now final slash over to Super Ken, who's going to be caught by the real realm of play.
Oh!
He, two-man, but it's only into frontliners against lockdown. Keeping the shot as well. That's two members taken down, but Bigatron Alpha get the Lord.
Oh, they turn around. And they might concede the Lord, but they get Super Ken and Key. Super Ken becomes the most pivotal member to fall in that altercation. Now they look and set their sights on the tier 1 turret and even stopping the Lord in the tracks.
Oh. Now walking up Spear of Alpha from Niall, finding Eman. Even with the built-in Purify, he wasn't able to escape. And Alter Ego get the Lord advantage despite not getting the Lord.
Man, even with the built-in Purify, with the Wind of Nature, that's true damage coming in from Nile. This is why the Alpha is just so lethal, so dangerous in the current meta. Bigatron, seems like a bit of miscalculation there, even in the Lord fight. They got the Lord, they were able to exit, and there seems to be some attempts to try and make plays happen there still. Bigatron need to respect it, man. All Trigo, they definitely still have weight to throw around here at 10 minutes. This is where the mid-game power spikes usually really hit hard for these big fighters. And with the Alpha in the roster for Alter Ego, Bigatron need to find ways to deal with him. If they're gonna use a lot of these big utility tools, like the Way of the Dragon, like the Implosion, you know, to set up, then there's nothing left to protect the backline from this diving Alpha. That is something they have to try and take into consideration, especially after that outcome.
Yeah, brute force breastplate completed by Nile as well. Just giving him that extra defense when he wants to dive towards Bigatron Alpha. But Bigatron Alpha still has their ace card, their ace in the hole, which is Moreno with the IMU. Whenever you think Alter Ego might be able to just zone out and start the execute, start the engage first, there will always be Moreno hiding in the shadows. Might steal a huge RWM or maybe like a Glorious Pathway or even Spear of Alpha, but then again, he has to concede of diving into the backline of Alter Ego. Now for Bigatron Alpha, how do they want to traverse the situation?
I still think they want to go aggressive. They just have to pick the right engagements, because with Super Ken picking up the BOD, that's a lot of burst damage potential. The only issue earlier was that the main damage dealers, the Suyo, at least Super Ken was caught in the main engage from Alter Ego, and that really can't happen, right? Bigatron can't afford to have that happen. But with the Sea Halberd picked up by Eman as well, Owen is going to start feeling the heat, feeling the pain here. So will Nile and Nino. So if they're surviving early on, using the healing, the regen, the tankiness built in the composition, the longer the game goes and the more Eman gets more items, the more they can't really afford to do so. So I think Alter Ego can still bank on having that split push pressure, but they have to be careful for Bigatron's members, because a lot of them can kind of do okay 1v1 too.
Yeah, they have strong split push presence in the hands of Highs. As that Moskov does have that global presence with the Spear of Destruction again. And if you think of it, if you compare it to Bigatron Alpha, it's not as strong as Highs in side lane pressure. Maybe it's just going to be Super Ken, but Suyo is just so slow on the segue plays and the split pushes. Now, though, the Lord might be the next eye on the list.
Oh man, with a Divine Blade finish from Moreno as well. That's a very well-timed power spike. Bigatron rushing for it.
Seal. Super Luke trying to do what he's been doing best. That's going over to Niall, but he won't be able to find a way to Dragon though. Will knock down the real world ablation. Luke compromised Key as well, but it's just going to be the front liner with a real world ablation from Moreno to try to zone them back. It will not be enough to keep Key alive. But it's a jungle for a tank, and they got the Lord again.
2 for 2 for Bigatron Alpha and Super Ken. Retribution on point gets the Lord for themselves. Man just hiding in the bush, maybe looking for something, but he's just far away from his teammates.
Risky moves there from Eman, but hey, he gets a chance to actually push the wave out a lot earlier and group up with the team. It's might really work out in favor of them, and look at the efforts coming from Super Ken as well, going to the bottom lane, trying to match all 3 waves to push all together, and not clearing the mid lane. Whoa.
Look at that damage. Eman from the side though, trying to look for a cheeky angle to get the weakness points. Alter Ego handling the Lord very well. Nino with a final slash as well. To be able to keep the turret in the mid lane alive, but both turrets side lane, tier 2s taken out.
It's not worth it for Alter Ego to have to compromise and lose a top side turret and bottom side turret as well. And the expensive, their mid lane turret still standing, but still. Now then, the side lane pressure even grows stronger for Bigatron Alpha. They can shove the wave, they can shove the minions going in, and they might look for pryos in other lanes, maybe again, waiting for that Lord to respawn.
But I feel like Bigatron are working against the clock somehow, because they don't have a lot of good high ground technically, and they don't really have a strong frontliner, a proper frontliner. They have Luke and Key, but they're both basically utility, right? Playmaking tools. They're not meant to stay in the front and tank shots like Owen does, or like Niall can do with the regen. And keep in mind with the Yves and Moskov, these are 2 great heroes that scale really well into that late game. So Alter Ego, the fact that they're still able to hang on to their base turrets here at 14 minutes, it's definitely a great achievement on their end. Bigatron need to, play some more mind games here, bait Alter Ego into some circumstances where they're not really advantageous. Because Alter Ego are playing it textbook. They're trying to play it as safe as possible and try and scale up to try and match Super Ken, who's really far ahead when it comes to the gold and EXP.
Yeah, on that note as well, I think Alter Ego do have that high ground defense as well. They have the wave clear from highs, they have the poke from Roundel, and that might be the main tool to really just scamper away Key and Super Luke when they want to frontline, because Super Luke and Key, yes, they might be able to just put their bodies in front, be that tanky member that they want to be, but they don't scale as much as Owen do in terms of HP, and they can't really survive that front line. So I think high ground defense-wise, Alter Ego might have the upper hand. So Bigatron Alpha, I do agree with what Arashi says. They're working on the clock, but Owen
will be caught. Does he have to win a crown? Is a big question. Now Super Luke has placed away Moreno. Well, popping real inflation. That's though. Over to the back, the real crossbow attack combo. Roundel almost taken out just with the crossbow attack. Luke into the back, the winner crown already used by Niall, but now he's got all isolated. Moreno with the chase under the turret. We'll get a triple. We'll get a maniac in the first game of playoffs.
We talked about the defense. It's all broken into pieces by Bigatron. Moreno, the man of the hour.
The Chokers have gotten 1 game, but they're still 2 games away from getting the series victory.
Bigatron Alpha strike first as their robotic fists and their eyes of the kill online. Alter Ego, they have to concede game number 1. 1-0 for Bigatron Alpha.
We thought the game was about to slow down right there, but it's merely the calm before the storm. Bigatron with 1 single fell swoop. We talked about baiting Alter Ego into disadvantageous positions, and look at that, dude. The single playmaking from Eman just ruins the whole composition, bursts them down, and just like that, Bigatron take Alter Ego down.
Talk about the crossbow of Tang being such a good tool to utilize, especially when you're up
The X word here.
Because Super Ken is known to use the export jungler a lot, and against an alpha, against a Phobius, it kind of serves as a counter. The slows, the true damage is gonna be really hard for them to counter. And right now,
They're banning the heroes that can.
wow, those are 2 cheesy picks for Super Ken, and they banned both. Interesting.
Yeah, but another Tigreal for T. I think so. There's another initiator for Bigatron, but Luke using Hylos. So the playstyle of Luke will be different from the first game, because on the first game he's using Cho, who can initiate or go to the backline, but now he's using Hylos, the sandbag in the front line.
And I want to ask about this Hylos, right? Because we haven't really seen this be popular, especially in MPL PH. Why are we still using the high-lows? What factor does it serve?
Ooh. First of all, it's Alter Ego. Wait, no, it's Bigatron Alpha, right?
Alter Ego in game 1, and now they pick it up for Bigatron in game 2.
Well, in this case against a Phobius, it is a good lane against a Phobius. You can survive a lot, and right now I think it's they're not gonna go for a carry. I thought they were gonna go for a carry, but it's gonna be a Moskov and a Ruby. So good setup to combo it with a diversion also. A lot of utility as well. The last pick, Nolan on Super Ken.
I thought carry was the best option for Highs if they want to use it because they have two frontline, Tigreal and Hylos. It can be easily melted by carry on the late game, but now using Moskov, I think they want to play like for the long lane, so they can secure the long lane.
Does Moskov win in the lane against a 1-1?
Well, in the first game he didn't. I don't know if that's the case of Eman being better than Heist, but I think it's more of a skill matchup on that note.
Okay, so if we had to choose which draft before we get into the game, we'll start with you, Coleus. Okay, Bigatron.
Biggest one for me.
Bigatron Alpha for Coleus. What about you, Shefin?
The Tigreal on key is just way too much, man. I think I'm taking Bigatron.
All right, 2 Bigatrons once again, ladies and gentlemen. And remember, momentum is going to be very important for both Bigatron and Alter Ego. If Alter Ego can't take it back, this might be disastrous. But, ladies and gentlemen, let's throw it over to our casters to bring you game number 2.
To Mobile Legends.
Will Bigatron Alpha inch even further to or will they be able to defend that 1-1 for Alter Ego?
Is that a revitalized Phobius I spy on the side of Alter Ego? I mean, throughout the drafting phase, we were so confused. We thought the Gato Kacha was definitely going to show up earlier, but again, a lot of plans here, a lot of mind games from both teams. That's a revitalized though, with 2 Purifies, Alter Ego, with all the respect towards Bigatron Alpha.
Yeah, so much respect from the damage coming in, and he needs the sustainability to really win out against the high loss. Now mid trio again, Owen Roundel might be in trouble.
Wow. Purify baited out early. Super Ken with the cooldown boots.
The emblems though, Arashi, anything in particular?
Oh, the agility, oh, hang on a minute, Owen.
This might be a flicker bait. Nope. Moreno walking forward again. Just clears the wave.
All right, looking at the emblems, agility and tenacity for Key allows him to roam around, which is why earlier, the fact that level 1 or level 2 even, you can just shove someone out of position so early on is just so valuable. High is going for full defense, knowing that there's so much burst damage, so much aggression coming in from Bigatron, wanting to make sure that he can have enough time to stay alive, to kind of play the drawn-out fight. Because again, with 2 fighters, you're the ones who want to fight to actually go the distance and allow the backline members to actually do their jobs. So we'll have to wait and see, man. Alter Ego, they're going with a very defensive approach, even though in theory, with the low Yi, they want to be the ones aggressing here.
Yeah. Owen in defense, Owen looking for a full Nile, Swerve Alpha.
Key flickers out of that. Big flicker bursted or wasted here for the side of BTR.
Yeah. Look at the items. Previously, 2 warrior boots coming in from the Luo Yi, Roundel, and also Highs. They need that physical defense, that bit physical defense to really just rile and deal with Bigatron Alpha's physical burst. The Feel Like Turtle getting for free for Nile.
As the pressure coming in from the jungle, from the EXP and the mid lane on the top side of the map, it's definitely too risky. Moreno tries to try and rotate around, get something. Oh, look at this though.
A little bit of a skirmish over. Super Ken trying to go for a little bit of flank. It's going to be him pinned down. Owen with a flicker. And Super Ken will be compromised. First blood over to Heist.
Good proactive play with a diversion up top towards the purple buff. They corral and take down Super Ken. That is a huge kill towards Highs.
Definitely an interesting play right there. It's the right idea, right? They go into the jungle of Bigatron, and when they don't find Super Ken, they're like, okay, where could this guy be, right? This guy that wants to always be active on this side of the map. Maybe he's in our jungle, and they do spot him and chase him down. Look at this, Owen being targeted, but the Ruby, man, it's a pesky matchup when you're a Tigreal trying to find ways to be effective against a Ruby, right? That's the one advantage that Alter Ego kind of has to try and deny all these divers, you know, maybe delaying them a bit with that Donut Whoop kick.
Roundel very low. This might be an assassination. Roundel way too overextended. I think Owen had info that Super Ken was in that bush.
Yeah, he met with the Key down bottom of the river. And now even for Eman, he's gonna walk up towards mid, looking to pressure this, get that prio on mid, and prepare themselves for a turtle coming in 40 seconds. And Highs will just clear down a bottom. 3 players stacking, stolen diversion. They're gonna make a flank play right here.
Uh-oh. Man actually read in perfectly into Niall's pace. Pathing. They're maneuvering bottom lane. They finally, I think they see him. Oh, Niall spotted. No flicker. Oh, glorious pathway coming down now. Oh, no, he hits the wall! The worst possible. Spear of Alpha happening here with Revitalize as well. Now the implosion to lock Owen down. A brilliant play. Secure them prio on the turtle.
A mini blunder there from the defensive Spear of Alpha, but High's next in the chopping block.
Yes, Purify, but I don't think you can purify damage. They're just gonna all-in him under the turret. Crossbow attack, unnecessary. They won't even go for the turtle. They're just gonna go for the gold underneath that turret. Luke taking a whole lot of damage. Amon still has the crossbow attack. Now Key brought back again. Amon in the midst of it all needs one more weakness point, but will not be able to find it. Big blunder from inside of Bigatron Alpha as Alter Ego take the advantage back.
Oh, they took that fight and now they lose all control over the turtle, man. Alter Ego with a bit of a win. Man, good things come to those who wait, and Alter Ego, surprisingly, is looking like the more patient team as Nino
walks up. Oh, with I'm offended. Flicker combo. Super Luke up the glorious pathway. Spear of Alpha to lock him down. To take that kill, Moreno steals the diversion away. And Bigatron Alpha, they've lost that lead.
Oh, that lead that they had earlier. They were setting their eyes on the turtle, but then they overextended Alter Ego. They're able to turn it towards their favor, even getting that purple buff control, and even the turtle as well. Now diversion play again by Roundel, but just to give Heist that space in the bottom lane.
Alright, man, now a bit of a lull in the action. Once again, consider Bigatron Alpha. They're trying to find their way around the map a bit more reliably, but Alter Ego with the built-in diversion that doesn't have to be stolen with the IMU is able to actually find a lot more moments here. But look at this game fact by our new application, GoPay.
Among all MPL regions, Moreno is the only mid laner to achieve a Maniac, not just once, but twice. Not even a few can do it. Moreno, he steps up on these big games. He was the game changer in game number 1, but the diversion play now looking for something. Niall might again be the same victim right here.
Oh! Implosion locks him down the glorious pathway as well. Great picks for BTR with the diversion.
The fact that they're able to find the jungle again and again, it's a great value. And because Bigatron are playing this dynamic style, Nino's kind of left alone. This is a strong laner, the Phobias, that wants to kind of go and do it out. But since he's kind of left alone, to just clear the waves, you can see he's falling behind you in the maneuverability. Bigatron, I guess, outmaneuvering Alter Ego, even though in theory, Alter Ego is supposed to be able to match this as well.
Yeah, the items now, Thunderbolt completed for Nino, and even the Talisman for Roundel to give them an extra cooldown reduction. But anything in particular you see, Arashi?
Well, they're starting on the side once again, followed by most likely the glowing one from Moreno.
Yeah.
It's a combo that's kind of working really well for him. And on top of that, you saw, I think Super Can starting to build up some of the items. Not really at that maximum burst power spike just yet, but I think he's still willing to go in for the contest. Niall is 1 level down.
Turtle, half HP. Moreno dealing with the I'm offended. Key implosion! Over to the back. I'm gonna be safe just now as Niall goes with the Alpha. The combo is massive. Nino walks up forward. Damage coming down. Niall will fall. Nino getting another stack on the Infernal Pursuit over to Super Luke, who will not be able to survive. A hold up just a second. This horse is a tanky boy. Heist gets the kill. That's a 3 for 1. But Turtle over to BTR.
They're not stopping here.
Moreno spots it, goes for the Terrify, flickers out. Amon walking up, now gonna be popped by the Infernal Pursuit. Nino decides against going in with the Infernal Pursuit. Bigatron disengages, Highs in the bottom lane, getting a free turret.
This is so valuable for Alter Ego. Look at Highs just pinning and gunning down that bottom side turret. They also able to collapse onto Bigatron Alpha on that little skirmish down bottom. But Key, with the conceal, looking for something, but no. Highs will just go away scot-free.
Man, Bigatron, they're getting great engages, but afterwards, they gotta be a bit more aware of the composition. When you're against a Logi and a Phobius, you get grouped up together by the yin-yang effect, and then just bounced on by Nino, getting hit by all the damage coming in from Owen as well, just all the AoE. You gotta be careful in the spacing, right? Initially, after the implosion, go get your burst damage out, and then spread apart, man. You can't stick around together when you're against a team like Alter Ego. Looking at the player head-to-head here between Niall and Super Ken, one of the highlighted matchups, Super Ken definitely still has the edge, using that mobility and using the fact that Bigatron has been again and again using the diversion to target Niall in the jungle, right? Slowing down his farming speed. So even though in theory the the Nolan and the Alpha has the same clear speed. Bigatron is getting an advantage there in the jungle department, but that can only last for so long. I mean, Nile has already caught up.
Yeah, glowing one completed by Moreno, and if you take a look at Nino, he has 6 assists out of 7 kills that Alter Ego has. Nino has been present for most of the 6 times they fought. Now Super Luke might be the one to open the bush, but he might be caught.
I'm offended, used up already. Nino will go for Infernal Pursuit. Super Luke passing Revitalize. Moreno goes for a little bit of poke. Lord Pry over to BTR. Super Ken dealing with the wave in the mid lane. But take a look at Highs. Busy, always on this Moskov.
Always on the split push, always on the segue play, looking to just open up the side lanes. And Eman will be the one to catch it. And this is the way they will distract Bigatron Alpha, who really responds to this to this Moskov. But
Owen flickers, Spear of Alpha. Already used up. Key now with the implosion as well. Bursting it down. Owen, wow. Didn't expect him to disappear like that. Bigatron's got burst.
They will work on the Lord though, Nino. This is free. Back off. This is free. For Bigatron Alpha, Alter Ego, they don't have anything to do with this. But Moskov will be up top, looking to get the turret. No, not even the turret. They get the Lord. And Bigatron Alpha, they grab everything they have.
Man, that's so good, man. The burst onto Owen. Like we said, the Ruby as well is a utility type of hero. She isn't really inherently tanky. And Eman, with that advantage, picks up the Wind of Nature. Still won't help him against Nino, against Nile as well with the true damage. But it's definitely a great addition there when it comes down to those tricky outplay moments, considering how close Eman has been playing. He's been right next, up close and personal to the members of Alter Ego. Now with the Lord on their side, can they actually go for something here?
Glorious pathway to the diversion as well. Explosion from Key! Finding 3, great Purify, Spear of Alpha, baited out. Key getting the shove on the 3 now. Super Ken walking forward with Fracture Nile. Very low. Will not be taken down. Now Eman walks forward, looking for all the weakness points. Will be able to find it. Eman gets the Inspire, but luckily, that's a winner crown. Nino low Super Ken with the assassination on the Fracture. Man, once the winner crown gets used up, they can't defend. Eman, wrong side of the base, pops into the nature. Gets out of the base. Risky plays from BTR.
Super Ken gets the Fracture and the passive from the turret pops. Thankfully, they have that second life, that second win. But Bigatron Alpha, they're just running rampant and running it down against Alter Ego. They lose Nino, they lose Highs. That was the perfect pincers movement coming in from Alter Ego, rather from Bigatron Alpha.
I mean, dude, the fact that they were able to actually go in and out again and again, bait out resources from Alter Ego was just so good. Now looking at the advantage here, 2.5k gold more or less for Super Ken, almost 1.5 for Moreno. Both of them in that previous fight dealt close to 10,000 damage on the hero that's essentially cooldown based. They're able to get in, get their damage out, hide away in safety, out of vision, and come back in. Alter Ego, if they want any chance of winning this game, they have to find ways to force Bigatron Alpha to commit, the same way they did in the previous fight, where Alter Ego were able to get all of the value. But with the adjustment from Bigatron, you're seeing it with how they position, with how they approach the fights, from 2 different angles, with starter timing. Alter Ego are definitely struggling right here to get a right read, and because of that, even the diversion from Roundel hasn't really been able to be used to its full effect from Alter Ego.
Yeah. Have to bank on a momentum, but it's so hard because Bigatron Alpha, they have way too many collapse tools they can use. Even Super Luke just constantly opening up his body. The Glorious Pathway looking to just run around Alter Ego, and this is going to be a tough hill to climb. Even Bigatron Alpha just waiting for the momentum to catch Alter Ego. Alter Ego is just caged in their base. They don't have control of their own jungle. They don't even have control of the side lanes as well. Now then the question becomes, how does Alter Ego really play this out? Will they play the base defense scenario?
I feel like the base defense scenario isn't as good as it was in game number 1. Now they have to find ways to kind of catch Bigatron Alpha in a combo, right? Group them together and then get all those AoE damage in. But Bigatron, look at that setup, dude. Gathering on the far side of the map away from the Lord to ensure that Highs does not have a safe time to really go for the sideline push. Now they see both the Loyi and the Moskov. Bigatron Alpha are going to try and force them to try and make a move, and they have done it.
Look at Moreno. He spotted the diversion. Spotted Moskov now in the mid lane, clearing out the wave. Bigatron Alpha with the Prio Key. Walking up forward now with the Spear of Alpha. He will not be able to find him with a crown. He's up. SOD Super Ken winning out the Red Tree battle as Nile will be locked down now with the crossbow tang as well. Again, Super Ken getting out. Crossbow tang not getting rid of it. Eman now popped into nature as Nino jumps for the pursuit. Luke for Nile, but the Lord again goes to the hands of BTR. Diversion play all the way to the back. Roundel His position is compromised. Moreno walks up forward, goes in high. Oh! From Super Ken. Nino with the infinite pursuit, chasing Super Ken down. He should be taken out, but no! He gets out. Iman baits in infinite pursuit towards his side. Gets all the weakness points. Doesn't have the crossbow attack. Now defended, but Iman will be shut down. Moreno gets the trade over. Owen with a flicker forward, backwards rather. Now as the Lord has taken the base turret. I don't know if that was worth it. Ultra Ego fought when the Lord was up. Owen getting caught by the fracture. Moreno moving forward. The zone over. BTR 6,000 gold ahead. That is match point. 2-0.
The nail in the coffin in the last fight. They were able to match it out in the Lord Pit, but somehow with the stolen diversion, they're able to shut down the rotations from Highs, from Nino and Bigatron. They strike twice. Alter Ego on a thin thread they hold. One loss away from going home early.
Just like that, ladies and gentlemen, we're at match point. Bigatron Alpha going with a similar style. Both teams clashing once more in a action-packed, team fight heavy game. But in the end, Bigatron Alpha found the better adjustments, the better composition, and it really seemed like they are getting a better read out of Alter Ego. The second game looks even more dominant than the first one.
It is such a treat to the eye for the Bigot Troopers in the building, in El Dorado. They're playing it so clean. They're playing it in a systematic way, not giving Alter Ego the chance to really fight back and hit back. And even in some moments where Bigatron Alpha might look like they lose their grip on the game, they're able to give birth into moments like that. Either it's a key implosion, either it's a Moreno movement coming in.
Beatrix might be a good option.
What about Atlas?
Oh, I love the idea.
I'm not really the fan.
Yeah, we need to wait the two heroes, I think.
Okay. Predictions. Last two picks for Alter Ego.
So right now they need a gold laner and also roam/exp laner that can kind of dive towards the deep and also the Beatrix. Oh man,
Hey, Benedetta
It comes
Nino.
out!
the type.
Yeah.
The
We
type-
were talking about it!
Benedetta Nino and Clint for high ground heroes. But like obviously dependent on Edith. What do you think, Chifin?
Oh man, I'm still this Clint, man. I know it's good in the lane against Beatrix. It's good against anyone. But when you look at the bigger picture, it is going to be a tough game. You have a dive hero in Nolan. You have pretty much a hero that you really cannot ignore in Hylos, and also the long-range artillery in this Yve. And it's going to be that Ruby to top it all off, which this might be an EXP Ruby, knowing that it's Benedetta EXP. It does well against it, and it kind of is Super Luke's favorite hero.
Oh no, is that a counter in the EXP lane? So Alter Ego are only holding the Clint in the gold lane as their strong lane.
For Benedetta tank, I don't think it's really that much of a problem, especially if you took the Revitalize, because you can trade some damage and actually clear the lane faster than a Ruby, so I don't think that's gonna be much of a problem for Nino.
And don't
Alright.
forget that Benedetta can distract them.
Yeah.
Okay, match point. Colius, who are you holding?
Alter Ego.
Alter Ego. Sheffin?
I mean, at this point, anything happens in the draft, I'm still taking Bigatron.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, things are getting more intense than ever. One more possibility, one more chance. We're gonna throw it over to the casters to cast in game number 3 in this best of 5 series.
One shot, one chance. Their year might end right here. Will they be unmasked? Or will they prevail to force a game number 4 Alter Ego, everything on the line?
Wow. Man, we were assuming a lot of picks would be coming through there. The Atlas good mention over. I thought for sure, after seeing the Clint, they baited Highs into picking someone that can't go for the Purify. We were all screaming, Atlas, Atlas, Atlas. No, we won't get the Atlas. Keep on the horse. Something we are actually not used to seeing in the regular season.
Yeah, interesting picks as well. Nino with the signature, Benedetta. But this time around, the build, I think, will be much more defensive like we saw from MPL SG in the hands of Diablo. Now the emblems though, Arashi. What do you think about this?
Master Assassin for both gold laners. They definitely want to go toe-to-toe there. And on the side of the junglers, it's going to be the Season Hunter. It's going to be Impure Rage for the Alpha as well. Extra bit of damage, good mana in the jungle because you want to spam all those spells. And look at the tenacities from the side of Altrigo, man. Especially having the Sushin in the mid lane. You want to make sure that they have tankiness, but look at that reaction.
The flicker reaction time, more of a prediction actually, you know, instead for the Edith. Nile though, getting a lot of prio, everybody rotating mid.
Yeah, mid is the main focal point, the epicentrum of everything for both these teams in the first few minutes of the game. And now Beatrix against Clint. What do you think about this lane?
Beatrix against Clint? Yeah, Clint definitely has a more trade advantage, but Beatrix has a lot more ways to kind of change the lane dynamic. Switch up your weapons, go for poke, go for a quick wave clear. And when it comes down to it, there's still an option for Bigatron to just allow that lane to just get cleared again and again. And that way the Clint can't really abuse that strong early game to try and shut down Eman. The mid lane though is where you have to keep your eyes on, because this is the Chushin that's been so oppressive, especially after the changes, right? No mana cost on that Lantern Flare. And using that, Altrigo definitely having a bit more prio here.
Way more prio. Key would just take up the damage, pops in Revitalize, Spear of Alpha, they're all the combo down. Key taken down, first blood over to Nino. Super Luke looking for a play. I'm offended. Oh, weird interaction with the I'm offended dash.
Yeah.
But Super Ken is staying busy. We'll use a retribution to go for the steal on the purple buff. And you will get it. Owen looking for the chase, just gets poked by Highs.
Yeah, Super Ken counter jungles, gets something out of nothing, thankfully though. But for Ultra Ego, they have the advantages on both sides, the kills and the turtle as well. Bigatron Alpha, they are on the pounce though. They're not looking to stop down the aggression.
He's kind of played slow here. As long as Bigatron don't commit and go into the range of the Tsushin, they can keep just poking and harassing, right? That's the advantage they have right here with all the slows, especially the combo coming in with the Glover's Pathway and the slows from the Void Crystals of the Yve. Man, that is a slow field of area that Altrigo have to try and walk through, right? But look at the Super Luke.
Flickers out of the Lantern Flare. Super Ken with the retry.
Interesting. A blown away spell by Super Luke, that might be much crucial in the coming minutes because they will try to collapse onto the players of Bigatron Alpha, Ultra Ego, though they're taking their time, like how Arashi mentioned. They really want to be able to scale slowly into the game.
Got a gang on the way bot side though. Super Luke.
No flicker for Luke. And Nile might go for the Spear of Alpha, actually does get it. Super Luke in the midst of it all caught. Nile picks up the kill, a good gank over from Alter Ego.
Way too much damage coming through. They're already getting true damage coming in from the Alpha, man. Even when the Sushin, in theory, is just all utility based, not too much damage, having an Alpha allows you to output all that damage. But you have to be careful, man. Super Ken is keeping up on curve, actually having an EXP advantage against Nile on the Alpha. So the backliners need to be very careful. Rondo is on a safe kind of... Oh, hang on a minute.
You know, opens it up. Might be forced to use Revitalize here.
Okay.
Use the final blow. That's already a big resource. No final blow. Team fight, Bigatron Alpha looking strong in the turtle. Super Luke rotating already. Has that offend. Owen! Or Shadow Flicker now finding the onward as well. Now it's going to be full collapse. Moreno will be reflected. Nile caught again, and Super Ken claims the double. And no turtle. It's just a double. Sheriff Highs is on the case.
It's high noon, but for everybody it is going to be a slaughter. Nino looking for the 1v1 towards Super Luke, but he won't be able to get anything because Super Luke is just way too sustainable in that mid lane.
A lot of damage coming from High still, but there's going to be all the covered gold taken by Bigatron. Unfortunately for Bigatron, they're unable to get anything in the middle of the map because of the wave clear coming in from the Benedetta. This tank build, a Revitalized Benedetta, is definitely a nice pick. You know, it's quite flexible, but Super Ken?
They might be too early. Nope. Beacon Super Ken taken out. Roundel with the Crimson Beacon, able to just go in there and get him.
A lot of good chase for Alter Ego, man. This is the problem. Bigatron Alpha now against spammable, overwhelming crowd control. They kind of have to play it a bit safer here, especially with Moreno being on a Yve as well. He's not the same mobile, dangerous kind of mid laner that he was like on the Valentina. Now it's Nino that's being flashy, being in and out. So with Nile being on the Alpha, can Nino pick up the slack and use all that mobility and flashiness to try and get something? Looking at the items, have to see he's completed 4 highs, so definitely a lot of burst damage potential. But with the BOD completed, Eman will be doing a lot of burst damage. And if Altrigo don't space out properly in the fights, a big Bandit's Rage or Nibiru's Passion is going to shred through the whole roster.
Yeah. Thankfully enough for Owen. He's able to just pop in and go his pathway.
Yeah, Owen locked down. Super Lou with I'm offended as well. Owen cutting caught by the fractured key. Loses life too. It's a 1-for-1. Both roamers falling down.
This is the the main premise of picking up the Clint is just to cut through the front lines, to cut through the tankiness of Bigatron Alpha. And it will scale pretty scarily come to the late game, don't you think?
I mean, scaling is definitely there for the side of both teams, technically. But, ooh, look at the mid lane, man. The control for pressure.
Oh, Roundel! Lethal Ignition, take Roundel, able to regen in time. Super can level lead over Nile, and without the mid laner, Bigatron might just take the skirmish. Nile actually reset the turtle. Will give Bigatron a bit more control. Owen has the flicker, can go for the Earth Shadow flicker combo. Iman rotating already towards the turtle.
They want to buy time here and allow Moreno to poke everyone down. That could be a valid option for Bigatron. You don't really have to rush this. Now that Rondo is back, though, definitely a different dynamic here. And look at Nino already setting up.
I'm offended. Banish Rage. Owen deleted before he can do anything. Nino in the back line. Spirit of Papa connecting. Super Ken running away now. That's the eye for a Nile over to Super Ken, who's able to dodge away. That's a free turtle over to Nile. Rondo pushing some damage. Super Luke. Lantern Flare barely on and picks him up to throw him to the guns of Sheriff Highs.
Alter Ego will not go down without a fight. Perfect execution. Nino in the backline being the executioner, just zoning out Super Ken. And this Benedetta might be the key to really stopping that pressure from Bigatron Alpha. But Alter Ego, all in all, solid lineup.
They're doing great at a 1.5k gold lead, but they have to try and set their targets on the structures right here. Take out a lot of it as early as possible, because Bigatron, that late game high ground damage is absolutely there, and they have a strong front line that can't really be ignored, that can't really be skipped over, right? Nino can maybe dash towards the back line, but that's about it. So they have to try and use all of this advantage to leverage all that, to try and go into the jungle, to try and take down these turrets early on here before Bigatron gets some more items that can allow them to wave clear a lot more efficiently.
And the question is, what do you think about the siege coming in from Alter Ego, Arashi? Do you think it'll be effective coming into the base later on?
It really isn't that good, honestly. The Sushin doesn't really do a lot of, doesn't have a lot of range, doesn't have a lot of damage as well, right? With the Lantern Flare just ticking down slowly but surely. The Clint is the only thing that they have at their disposal to help with the poke, to help taking down the turrets. But look at this trade coming from Bigatron. The Beatrix damage.
Power of the Bennett. Yeah, Nino will just be there to catch the wave, and Super Luke and Iman will just force their way back. And Alter Ego, they might be able to just open up their eyes and look for cross-map plays maybe, because that bottom side turret all going to be broken down. The top wave is pushing now, and Super Ken will be there to get it.
You have to remember that now the max HP for Key actually scales better in the late game, technically compared to the early game. So he has kind of leveraged this situation as well, right? Find ways to kind of use more of the utility as of for now, in order to like not be the main frontline that can get some tank. Because Roundel now picks up that Sky Piercer, and that's a lot of ways for him to proc that Sky Piercer due to the spammable nature of the Tushin.
The Lord setting their sights on this. Alter Ego might be playing a dangerous game. Bigatron Alpha also eyeing for this Lord, and Nino in the backline just will be a flanker.
Owen getting the onward down. Nile wins it out. Super Ken running away. Owen gonna be gunned down by the Meter's passion, but the real world ablation catches them in the back. Highs was caught, soloed, isolated from the rest of the team. And it's a 3-for-0. A 3-for-1 snipe over. Iman not finding it.
The Lord feels so bland for Alter Ego. They lost 3 members, 2 of them core members. And Bigatron Alpha, they fight back, they bite back. Nino looking for something.
Nino still able to escape. Super Ken gets to purple though, and this will be a free turret in the mid lane. This Lord advantage is for Bigatron Alpha.
It's only the first Lord as well, so Bigatron Alpha can easily clear out the waves, clear out this Lord as well. And they're actually gonna get a lot more value from this situation. But Super Luke
pushing it over to Roundel. Owen with the onward as well. This should be Super Luke dying. Roundel gets the Sky Piercer stack.
a bit too far out alone without the damage from his team to kind of help him out. And looking at the situation like right here, Bigatron Alpha, I think they're at that point where they can clear very, very easily, man. Especially with the Wishing Lantern competed for Moreno as well. Even the frontliners, all these fighters that are giving Alter Ego so much fighting power, staying power, gonna be a lot more vulnerable with that max HP damage. You see they're already taking from Moreno.
Yeah, and Zeusson will of course be the main zoning tool for Alter Ego to make their way. Oh, Heiss almost gets assassinated. And Owen will be there to peel for him, but look at Nino doing light work up top, looking to just chop down the turrets slowly but surely. But Super Luke will be there to respond, and now Alter Ego, at least they're able to tone down the pressure, and they have the tight lane pressure constantly on the hunt just threaten Bigatron Alpha and their objectives.
Another big issue for Alter Ego is how do they deal with the burst damage coming in from Iman. Super Ken is just waiting around, finding an opportunity to jump onto Roundel or Highs. So for Alter Ego, if they jump on anyone except for anyone but Iman, then Iman can just stay in the back and just gun all of these fighters down in the front line. So they have to try to find a way to either send Nino to the back maybe to distract him and stop the channels of those ultimates, or, you know, just jump on him outright.
Eye for an eye from Nino. That's a turret tier 1 up top for BTR.
Yeah, Paul was close. Nino almost got himself killed, but he's all fine. Benedetta, after all, has that mobility to just rack up the damage and want the crowd control towards the backside. When the nature now for Highs, is this protection enough for him from the burst?
It's going to help a lot against Super Ken in particular, and he is one of the only big burst damage sources. And technically, in the midst of a big fight, it can also help him survive against something like a Nibiru's Passion or Bennett's Rage. So it's a great pickup for the Clint, definitely. But again, Alter Ego's problems are still the same, right? They don't really have a crazy strong front line. They have the Edith, but the Edith is going to be transitioning to a bit more of a damage dealer, especially when he pops that Primal Wrath. So Bigatron have the more solid front-to-back composition, and they have more range to play around with right now with the Renner, as well as the poke coming in from Moreno. So you can see Owen is going to be struggling so much here. Alter Ego are going to be forced to make a move desperately.
Look at that, onward, coming down. Nile winning on the Red battle, but gets caught in the tough spot. Now Roundel about to be assassinated. He finding the pick off Nino in the midst of it all, finding the final blow to get keyed out. Moreno with a poke. Owen, can he survive? That's a lot of damage. Real world manipulation from Moreno. The stun not connecting, but now High pushes forward. Looking for the kills, but now with the nature, can he do it? Gunning him down slowly but surely. But Super Ken does too much. They overwhelm Alter Ego with damage. But remember, Nile got the Lord. Nino, give it the purple buff. It will be taken by Super Ken. No solo kill here.
Highs is insanely aggressive. Flickers forward for the kill. But thankfully, Nino was there to sustain him a lot more longer with the Revitalize. But again, that is insane. 3 for 3.
But with 3 members down, Alter Ego, they already lose out in the high ground department, and now they don't really have ways to use this Lord either. Super Ken though, ooh, gets out with that movement there, but Nino is definitely on the hunt.
Roundel. Oh. Super Ken might go for a steal.
Fracture, lethal ignition ticking. No, he has the regen. He gets out, but he's very low.
Oh, that was so close. Super Ken looking to get the second bite of the cherry with that movement, but thankfully Roundel is still able to survive. And now it becomes very scary for Alter Ego. The Beatrix damage is just nasty. How do they deal with this?
They're just trying to find a way to get onto him. Otherwise, there's no really way for them to really out-damage the Beatrix. Even when the Clint is at full items, he'll have a lot of burst, but once the skills are down, once he can't really trigger the passive any longer, it's going to be a lot more difficult. Whereas Iman, if he's on the Nibiru, he's going to be just shooting away, gatling away, doing all sorts of damage to the backline. The saving grace for Alter Ego, though, is they have a EXP laner that's a lot tankier than you would expect, with a lot of mobility. So you can see that he's been very actively playing on the side lanes, trying to pull apart Bigatron from their so solid front-to-back composition. And if they're able to catch Bigatron mid-rotation, right, then it's gonna work out fine. But if they stretch out too far, that's where Super Ken has been able to punish them as well. So there's a fine balance here in the composition, in the positioning of both teams when they're moving around the map. And that is where the difference is gonna be made.
Yeah, Bigatron Alpha balances all things, and now Super Ken also has that Sea Halberd to deal with a few of the anti-heals and anti-regens towards Alter Ego. Roundel gets the winner crown righteously. He needs to be able to sustain the burst coming from Bigatron Alpha. So does Super Luke with the same build and the same buy that he made. And now the question becomes, how long will Alter Ego survive? Because they need to look for a moment. They need to look for one big play that might change the course of the game. But for now, Bigatron Alpha is the one who's dictating the whole game.
They have more control because they do have the Hylas, right? The strong frontline difference. The fact that Alter Ego, if they really want to take out the Hylas, they definitely can, but with the Radiant Armor, Dominance Eyes, with the Revitalize available as well, it's going to take a bit too much time, and that allows Bigatron, if they're in the right position, to capitalize. With a Demon Hunter Sword, though, Owen!
Go on to Super Luke, now with what? Okay, with the winner crown as well. Moreno now with the real mobilization. Now it's going to be caught in the Nibiru's Passion. Nino as well. Great, I'm offended to get Roundel. Oh! Engaged there, and Man with nature. Nino waiting in the bush. Very sabar. Very patiently. but will not be able to utilize that patience. That was such a rushed engage, I feel.
Yeah. It was so prompted in a way that the follow-up was just so forced. And Ultra Ego, no patience in their name. So ironic on how patient that Nino wants to be.
Man, that was a split-second decision for sure for Owen, man. He saw a chance to jump on the back line, the exact solution we were talking about earlier, but the follow-up just wasn't on point, wasn't in the right position. And against Bigatron, you can't do that. Iman dealt 15,000 damage in that fight, dude. Again, if he is allowed to just fully channel all of the spells, all of the ultimate damage, that's crazy. And even the basic attacks with the Nibiru, you saw what happened, man. Even Nino was chunked down to almost half HP with a single basic attack. That's some serious damage coming in from Iman right here. And with the Lord at their backs, Bigatron have enough high ground pressure to look for an end angle.
Oh, this siege is going to be ridiculous from Bigatron Alpha. They have a Renner, they have a Bennett.
Oh, look at that, Roundel.
They have that poke. Roundel taking a half HP already, and still the Enhanced Lord is marching down in the bottom lane that they are going to try to get 2 waves on. Another wave in the mid lane, and now that's going to be the Enhanced Lord charging down. Niall, can he do it? Oh, going to be an initiation again with the Bennett's Rage, taking a lot of HP. They got the Primal Rat, now Nino engaged upon. Used up the final blow. Fracture from Super Ken. Good maneuvers from inside of Alter Ego, but is it enough to keep the turret intact though? Renner, luckily Owen tanked that. Bigatron Alpha, 1 base turret is all they're gonna get with that first Enhanced Lord.
Just see what happened right there. The 3 members chunked down to half HP before the fight even broke out. That's the late game Yves damage, man. Moreno is absolutely lethal right here. And Bigatron has 1 more chance to play on the top side.
Oh man, Renner, the Iman damage is ridiculous. Even to the turrets, he's just slowly but surely taking it down. Niall, or the Spear of Alpha, now real world manipulation!
Oh no.
But the ground timing has to be perfect for Renner too, in case Moreno didn't time it to perfection. No Niall. And another wave forming. 40 seconds for the jungle of Alter Ego. Do or die. This is 2-0. It's match point for BTR.
Slowly crumbling pieces to pieces. Their mask slowly unseated, and now for Bigatron Alpha, they take their sweet time.
20 seconds.
But this siege might be scary. Owen has to do the defense, and Key opens up the glorious pathway.
Owen, you're gonna have a
Roundel.
a massive engage. Roundel dies. Nino with a desperate final blow. He gets out with the eye for an eye, but now Owen will have to use a Primal Rat. That's a winner crown from Super Luke. Super Ken dealing with the pop right now. Is that Highs taking the kill over? Bigatron Alpha will Highs flicker. Woo! Bigatron will stay disciplined. They're happy with just 3 base turrets. They got the dub.
Highs is trigger happy. He flickers forward. That could be the end of him. A double-edged sword, but thankfully he lives to see another day. Alter Ego, they defend their base.
A desperate defense from Alter Ego, and it has paid off. On the cost of Roundel, they're able to actually stave off the aggression, but their problems seems that they've only just begun. With no base turrets available, with the Lord spawning in right here, Roundel will be on the map, but Bigatron Alpha just has an abundance of damage. Unless a big moment is found, Alter Ego can't do much.
Yep, they're bursting it. They're going to try to put all their bags into this. Do or die. Key jumped to half HP already. Jumps in again. Super Ken finds it. Niall falls under the real world manipulation. Moreno buys. The winner crown, Nino going forward. Super Ken has the immortality. Now Nino with the revitalized. Gunned down by Iman. That's a winner crown from Moreno. Can he buy the immortality? No, he cannot. Iman with a back forward with a nature as well. Super Luke with I'm offended. Catching him. Great immortality buy. But Highs will be gunned down. Iman buys the immortality. And there's a big evolved Lord that has been taken by Super Ken.
A game of inches and Alter Ego. They might be stripped down into pieces. Bigatron Alpha wanting to terminate Alter Ego right here, right now. Will they be able to hold? Will they be able to force a game number 4? It looks so bleak for them.
Roundel doing all that he can. Super Ken just going at Miru as well. The base wide open. They'll go for it. Alter Ego have been eliminated by Bigatron Alpha on day 1. A clean sweep to start the playoffs in Season 14.
The red robots go online. Terminators, as they say. An Alter Ego unmasked. They have to bow out. And the playoffs no longer sees them inside of it. Next season is going to be a tough road for them.
3 masks, 3 opportunities, 3 different attempts with all the adjustments from Alter Ego. And there were definitely moments of success for them, but in the end, It was all for nothing, man. Bigatron Alpha were just too good. And they have thoroughly crushed Alter Ego in the Season 14 playoffs.
Have to bow out. It is so heartbreaking for them to lose in such a fashion. Not even a single point they are able to get from Bigatron Alpha. Bigatron Alpha, pure dominance. Alter Ego shows a few signs of life in the first few minutes of the game, but Bigatron Alpha, they time and time again crush their dreams, crush the chances, and just caged Alter Ego in their place. Bigatron Alpha, they advance to the next stage.
Definitely a tough moment for the Alter Ego fans. Looking at this final desperate attempt from Alter Ego, they saw that they have the man advantage.
The succeed. That's why Onyx want to secure at least one power hero. Then they are responding what kind of heroes that the opponents pick.
It's going to be tough for both of these teams, man, because there's just way too much factor. As you can see here in El Dorado Dome,
Wow.
it is a full house here in Bandung, the Sea of Fire. Man, oh man, I just love MPL playoffs.
It is wild. The energy coming in from all the audiences, the viewers. By the way, this is the first day. So imagine as the ball goes rolling, and imagine as we get into the later stage of the playoffs. This is outside, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. There's actually a watch party available for those of you who have not been able to secure those tickets. There's actually a free watch party outside that you guys can participate in. And even that is a full house. So with that, without any further ado, we're going into the drafting phase for game number 1 in match number 2 of day number 1 between Fnatic, Onyx, and Geek Fam. This is the drafting phase presented by the official streamer smartphone Samsung Galaxy S24 FE. And wow, there you go.
What?
Suyo opened up Fnatic Onyx with that first pick.
Wait a minute, chip ban on the blue side.
Yeah. Because they are prioritizing Suyo, I think that's why they need to ban the chip on their last ban. But picking against Suyo for the Geek Fam, right now they have a lot of options to be picked. Luoyi is still open for Aboy. And Aboy is a very good user of Luoyi.
I think right now the priority falls towards Edith first over anything else. Gatot Kacha is also still there. The flex is pretty much all for the taking for Geek Fam right now. It's gonna be interesting on what they're gonna pick in the end here. And it's going to be the Phobius, and also the Mathilda is still open. No, they're not gonna take the Mathilda. Instead, they go towards the Yeef route. Now, are they gonna pick it? This forbidden combo in MPL Indonesia so far that boasts a 100% win rate. Mathilda and Phobius.
Matilda, Phobius, or even the Khalid Gatot. I think
Khalid is banned.
Khalid is banned, so there's no Khalid anymore. That's why I'm thinking about what if Keyboy wants to play with Rafaela. Even it's not fit with Keyboy's playstyle. I know Keyboy playstyle is the flashy one. He likes to pick off the opponents, but facing against Phobius and Yeef, I think Rafaela can be a good option.
And also I wonder, because so far Sans has been the only mid laner out of all, or maybe Onyx overall is the only team that has picked Katira and found success in it. And against a Yeet, usually you wanna dive, right? But no, they're gonna go the Luoyi route, and also the Hylos, so no prioritization at all towards the Mathilda. This is very interesting, Golius.
What is going on?
They know each other well. I don't know, man.
I don't know. Fnatic Onyx, they're letting the Matilda go. The Matilda,
Now you gotta pick Alpha, right?
it sounds so good when you pair it up with the Phobius. Like, what's going on?
Especially the user is Baloy.
Why Hylo?
Baloy loves to using Matilda, but they need the frontliner Eterna because Suyo needs to get back when the opponents try to catch Suyo. That's why they need the distraction using the Hylos as the sandbag. But yeah,
Okay, we'll
Matilda.
see.
Oh man.
This is not the start that Geek Fam, no,
They're gonna
start that
target Vincent.
Fnatic Onyx want right now. And Geek Fam, they're gonna start eliminating these options. Understand that the Hylos can still be flexed into the EXP lane. They go for the Kaja ban, taking away Keyboy's hero.
Oh my goodness, this is worrying for Vincent. The Alpha is ban, and possibly another ban towards Vincent also. Like, what are the other heroes there?
Roger,
Nolan?
Julian.
I don't think Nolan is also good against the Hylos and Suyo in the first place, so Fnatic Onyx, they might wanna, bait Vincent into a Nolan.
But when they have Matilda, I think Roger might be a good option if he can secure the snowballing factor on the early game.
I don't know, man. I don't know, Roger. I think Vincent used it the last time in the regular season, and you can see it the way he played. Like, he's not comfortable on this hero, and the nerf, that 9-second Wolf transform cooldown is just way too much for this guy, and it looks like it's gonna be a Nolan towards Vincent. Now, what's gonna be the answer here? What are you cooking, Bluffsy, for Vincent? Because he has a very refined taste. He's picky about what he's eating.
I agree. One hero that Vincent has used in the regular season, it's not as popular. We didn't see it in MTLPH. Bane.
Bane, yeah, I just want to mention about it because Bane with Matilda and Bovius, especially with Deadly Catch 1, Luoyi using the diversion, it might be an option for GFAM right now.
Your team is
And it's going to be Moscow first.
time and tide.
That long lane, it looks like gonna be Beatrix and possibly Franco. Yep, it's gonna be a Franco, Beatrix, and now Veldora. If he jumps in, he is cooked. He has to pick maybe a Vengeance because it can be utilized, it can be used, even though he got suppressed. So expect that. Now, this is the big question, Coleus.
Vincent.
Oh man, I don't think Bane is a good option either, to be honest. Against a Hylos?
Ling?
Oh,
Yeah, Ling for aiming Luoyi and Beatrix on the early game.
but with
But with Matilda,
Ah.
that's the problem. An
Oh!
Borg.
Is this it?
There you go.
Oh man.
Is this the hidden strat that we've been waiting from the regular season? This is a... Actually, wait.
Debut pick.
Wait. Is that Chidera on the export? No way, right?
No way.
No way.
It's a visual bug,
Moscow.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But honestly, I love the drop from GeekFam. It looks solid, but looking against Onyx who using Luoyi, if they got the map control, I think Fnatic Onyx will get the first win.
All right. What about you, Sheffin?
I don't know, man. I think GeekFam has a chance here, as long as they play the kiting game properly. But with a big notice, though, this is the best pickoff team in Indonesia in Fnatic Onyx.
Yep.
You have to somehow absolutely dodge all of the things that's coming from Keyboy.
All right. So the compositions have been set in stone. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to throw it over to our casters to bring you game number 1.
One life, one goal, and one chance to make it even further in the brackets. Welcome to Land of Dawn. Game number 1, it is Geek Fam against Fnatic Onyx. Talk to me about the draft, Arashi.
A surprising turn of events. We see Vincent finally on a fighter. That's great news for Geek fans.
Amazing.
On top of that, though, they got the Jeeve, high ground mage for a boy. That's great. They got the Matilda for Beloyski. They have a very solid draft right here. Even Chidera with a bit of a signature pick on the Moskov too. They have a great balance here in whatever they want to do. So they can play it safe. They can play it aggressive if they want to. The only real concern is that when Fnatic Onyx get some power spikes and go for those early game pickoffs. But aside from that, if Geek Fam can kind of play it safe, they can make sure that Beloyski can save anyone getting jumped on. This could be a pretty good game for Geek Fam. If you take a look at the emblems here by IndyHome, Wilderness Blessings for the mid lane and the roam, it's all about moving around, man. It's about clearing and then going for those ganks. Weapon Mastery for CW, gonna take a bit longer to ramp up. Whereas Chidera going with the Master Assassin wants to get some more pressure, some more fire in that lane, but look at Beloyski.
Oh, great stun over. Oh, with a blaze of the immortal form. That's first blood over to Kai.
That damage coming in from the Suyo. Is Suyo that strong in that early game, Arashi?
I mean, the Suyo is absolutely amazing. Look at that damage!
Oh boy, oh, that's an iron hook. Oh boy, flicker. No lethal ignition, luckily, to take him down there, but that's a wasted flicker. Already, so much pressure by the Suyo.
Oh man, no way for Geek Fam to kind of match that kind of burst damage in the early game. You look at their composition, it's a lot of continuous damage. The Yeeb spamming out spells, Beloyski spamming out wisps as well, as Vincent's just spraying with the fire. Not a lot of burst damage. So when Kyrie wants to go in and just go for the 1v1 trade in damage, he wins every single time. You gotta wait a bit longer here before they can kind of match up. But this is the Turtle with the level 4 power spikes. In Geek Fam, in theory, have a lot of tools to guarantee that they can go for this 50-50.
Yeah, I've talked about the setup. Geek Fam has it all. They have the zoning tools, they have the jump tools to really just rile Fnatic Onyx, the Turtle scenarios. But for now, it's just Rez trying to tank up the Turtle. But in bottom lane,
Bloody Hunt, Nibiru's Passion, CW. Finding the kill, now Rez all alone, isolated. Up to the glorious pathway, and Revitalize should be able to escape
Rez.
here. as the chase won't be continued. Geek Fam will secure the neutral objective, but it does seem like for Fnatic Onyx, they don't care about the neutral objective. They'll go straight for the purple buff. A hook missing there from Keyboy. Good yin-yang reaction. Oh, going to be caught in Circling Eagle, now burned down to the ground by Vincent on the X-Borg. But he will lose the purple buff. Heck, he'll lose everything in the bottom side jungle.
Wow, highway robbery from Kyrie right there. Fnatic Onyx, understanding they don't really have the same kind of impact level 4, they just give up the neutral objective and go straight for the change, the trade on the other side of the map, and the purple buff invade. Looking at the talent predictions here by the new application GoPay.
I mean, sure.
Same old story.
It's always going to be classic Papulong.
BP!
Only him with the Geek Fam donning that banner, but now Rez up top, Veldora and Vincent working in tandem to just win out the pressure. But Keyboy always on the move, always on the hunt. And Kyrie, in this moment in time, I feel like he is already strong enough to just get the fight. The hook misses towards a boy.
Diversion. Ooh, they might not need the hook. A boy reads it out. Now Beloyski with the Circling Eagle and the real world manipulation. Kyrie to be able to dish out some damage, but that's going to be Keyboy locked down. Chadera with the SOD. Now the last insanity. It won't really connect onto anyone. Say goodbye to the Faraga armor. That's a shot down. A boy trying to survive. Kyrie goes in. A boy with a flicker out. Beltora walking forward. Unfortunately, unable to get the demonic force proc on anyone.
No, it is a very, very close trade. The RWM opened up. Beloyski still able to even survive that long. A boy almost a victim. But again, they play chess here.
There's a cooldown shoes for Kyrie as well. He's going all out here to get as much spam damage out as possible. Man, in the early game though, you can see the pressure through for Fnatic Onyx, but Geek Fam, by abusing the Circling Eagle's crowd control immunity there, you saw Beloyski able to kind of surprisingly be durable, be hard to catch there. Even though against a Franco, that's usually a scary proposition, especially with the Franco in the hands of Keyboy. This is not just a random roamer here, one of the best in Indonesia.
Yeah, Turtle now again, just being ping-ponged around, and Kyrie has piled towards that diversion. From the backside, they can go for a
Unfortunate, unable to connect there. In front of pursuit from Veldora. Now the retreat battle, it's Kai who wins it out. Rest still in the midst of it all. Tanking a whole lot of the damage. Now onto Vincent he goes. A Circling Eagle over. Bloody Hunt locks Veldora down. But he has in front of pursuit and the guiding wind. No, it's not enough. He gets hooked back right into the battlefield and gunned down by Mr. CW. But Chadera will stay busy in the bottom lane. He will get a tier 1.
Trades across the map. Turtle, a kill. And down bottom, Chadera is able to at least knock down the tier 1 turret. The pressure, unstoppable. Beloyski dancing with the devil.
Not gonna dance that long, but SOD from Chadera finds Sans with the Spear of Misery, just pins him down on that wall.
The passive save gold laner finding moments of his own right here. This is a high octane game that we're not expecting from Geek Fam. Look at Vincent though, 1v2.
Gee.
Ooh.
W walking up already with the Renners. Pops the Faraga armor there from Vincent, and he's just everywhere now. Looking to back up the skirmishes, but now Fnatic Onyx, they are indeed, the ones grabbing the tempo, but slowly but surely Geek Fam's always very quick on the response. You can take a look at how they are actively pouncing on every potential chance to jump the hook. Oh, Circling Eagle.
Good cancel with the Circling Eagle. Veldora, unfortunately again, just barely out of range.
It's just not enough. And now for both teams, it's just waiting around, finding the right moment here to really strike. Keyboy definitely has the advantage though. Beloyski trying his best to kind of find info, but realistically, the only person that can kind of move forward and not get bursted down immediately is Vincent. Veldora is running the flicker, mind you, so he can make more plays happen, but he's no longer as durable, especially against the full burst of the Matrix. And look at Fnatic Onyx move.
Beloyski walking forward very far away. Rez isolated, gets a stun down with the Glorious Pathway. A boy will be able to lock him down! Keyboy finding the angle, Sans getting the yin-yang reaction! And Calvin Renata just taking all of the kills!
Bandits rage, but in a much more traditional way. Triple kill, the AO is disgusting!
Keyboy with an iron hook to catch a boy. That's 8-3. Only Mr. Vincent is left alive. What is he gonna do against the horse?
This death ball isn't stopping anytime soon. Vincent is stuck in a rock in a hard place. He is isolated, but backup will come from up top.
Great move for Fnatic Onyx, man. They know that they don't really have the advantage when it comes to the neutral objectives. So why fight at the neutral objectives? Keep going for the pressure when it's not up just yet. Catch him off guard with the iron hooks. This is exactly how you're supposed to beat this kind of composition. And look at Beloyski, man. Trying to find info, but it's a risky situation with Keyboy. Zoning everyone away. That's a free turtle for Fnatic Onyx.
Keyboy is just up there, asserting his dominance. Not actively seeking for a hook, it's much more of a zone out play coming in from Keyboy as Rez sparkers into Vincent. They're trying to invade this jungle, and Vincent does not have the comfort of his own home. It's just stolen away from Onyx, or rather Fnatic Onyx this time around. Rez looking to just pop the Glorious Pathway.
Oh, he just doesn't care. Kyrie from the side, gets the arrows out, Chidera low! Still able to escape with the help of the Guiding Wind, but my God, that's a lot of damage. Diversion for the flanks. Beloyski doesn't read it out. Costing the Guiding Wind. That's a stun over. Yinai reaction with the real world manipulation, locking him down as well. Rez isolated, has a vitalize. Last Insanity will blow him up. That's a sod that will not connect out to CW, but it's a free tier 2 up top for Fnatic Onyx.
You can take a look at how the damage coming from Luoyi is just so disgusting. How does Keyfam deal with it?
Almost. I mean, they just have to make sure they don't clump up. Keyboy taking a lot of damage with Vincent.
Oh, CW with the flicker forward and he gets the kill! No punishment! Geekfam can't do nothing against CW!
Get out of my jungle, he says. He flickers forward with so much bravery and courage. The audacity to do that.
It's definitely a lot of aggression coming in from Fnatic Onyx. Looking at the items though, even with the Flask of the Oasis here, Fnatic Onyx, they're able to get a lot of value, a lot of moments here. Geekfam, they're gonna really respect the composition. They're trying to group up together to avoid getting picked off, but because of that, they're getting comboed by the low E. They have to pick their poison and double down on it. And especially when the Iron Hook is down like this, they have to try and find ways to capitalize. Right now, they're waiting for the right moment to try and play around the neutral objective. This is the Lord after all. This is where the pressure is a lot higher on Fnatic Onyx to try and play that Lord dance that Geekfam are well known to do many times before. But with 5 seconds to go, with the lanes not really set up for Geekfam's success right here, it's looking quite dangerous.
I like that point you made, Arashi. The fact that this draft coming from Fnatic Onyx is kind of like a contradictive draft for Geekfam to deal with. In one way, you don't want to clump up, but you have Luoyi over there.
Oh wait, what Firaga armor? Beloyski with the Guiding Wind into his demise and CW just snipes him down! Right with the Glorious Pathway, setting him up. Chidera caught him into diversion. Spear Misery diversion from Sands. Keyboy gets a bloody hunt. Veldora gets gunned down again. Fnatic Onyx are stomping through Geekfam.
They're not stopping anytime soon. A boy, the hook misses and a boy goes away scot-free. But that is damage done, and that is so much damage from Fnatic Onyx.
The decisiveness for Fnatic Onyx to keep moving forward there is what's allowing them so much success. You can say it's because they're snowballing. It's because they've had better setup before the neutral objective. But the fact is, every single time they're moving forward, Geekfam with this competition can't stand there. They have to just move backwards again and again. And when they do, now they have to consider the possibility of a diversion behind them once more. All of these angles just cut off for Geekfam by Fnatic Onyx.
Yeah, you don't want to clump up, but there's this Luoyi, always looking to just exert the damage. And Sans is finally back on track. We haven't seen much of him in the regular season. He has been shrouded behind the shadows of other young blood mid laners, but now he's here. He wants to play, and he wants to go to M6, even though it's still far-fetched.
Oh, Yinai reaction finding too. Look at this time. Oh boy, almost getting taken out of the board there. Vincent and Chidera should still be able to clear out this Lord. Rez taken to a quarter, but has so much regen in his kit. No base turret taken down. Still good high ground defense from Geekfam. Habiyev, X-Korg, and the Moskov. Seems though that CW is still putting out as much pressure as he can. Always just putting the Bennett damage on these turrets.
Yeah, they have the tools to really defend their base. They have Eve with the range of the poke. They also have Moskov for the wave clear. And then Vincent can just come in and come out with the Firaga armor. So Fnatic Onyx, they have to play it slow. They have to play it in a much more disciplined approach.
Right now though, for Geekfam, Chidera has reached the 3-item power spike, so there's that to consider for Fnatic Onyx, but they keep going here.
Last Insanity with the real inflation there. It's all of them pulled in. Wow. The big combo. CW forced to use it with the nature. Pops in the bench, door with the chase. SOD Chidera going all the way back onto Kyrie, pinning him down for Beloy to get a double. in an instance, it's a 4-0 for Geek Fam.
In a blink of an eye, Fnatic evaporate in the middle of the fight. Geek Fam, the King Slayers, they pounce forwards. It's just Sans having to defend this.
1v5. We've seen this before, haven't we? But now against a full team. Sans do another. Sans finding two to defend the game as usual in Sans fashion.
Wow. Aggressive moves from Geek Fam there to somehow try and go for the end. That was as desperate move as possible, but Fnatic, they have recovered. Now they're back on the map. The goal difference, though, has shrunk down from 10,000 to only 3,000. That's an SOD landing, but Chadera.
No,
way.
Okay.
Not possible.
Don't press.
Look
For
at
a second, Matt was in the game.
For a second right there. But again, look at the potential for Geek Fam once they have their backs against the wall, right? In a way, they're in a desperate situation, but in a way, their backline is quite safe as well. That's a Starlium scythe picked up by Beloyski there. He is not going for any tankiness whatsoever. More damage, more utility technically. But again, if their backline can just reliably put out damage without being too concerned about the Franco, without being too concerned about the Suyo, or even the diversion on the backline, they can just keep outputting the damage. And they have reached a threshold at this point that they can out-damage the front to back, but they have to watch out for the pesky moves, the maneuvers here of Fnatic.
Vincent is scaled. Take a look at the damage. He's already able to slowly but surely deal with the frontliners of Fnatic. Beloyski with the guiding wind. The hold over in front of Pursuit, not used up just yet. The Spirit of Misery will pin him down. But he'll just bait out the Revitalize. Rez all alone, real room ablation, and Vincent just takes him out with the fire.
It's very easy for them now to just shred down a Res. They have the damage. They're scaling with their items. And this now looks kind of scary for Fnatic. The Eve is going to be massive in these team fights. Just poking down Res, looking to bait out the Glorious Pathway and then go back. It's just a bait and switch at this point for Geek Fam. And for Veldora, he will be the second in line to just jump into the backline of Fnatic. Look at how zoned out they are from the pit. And Kyrie is looking for a flank angle.
They're gonna go for it. Let's see what they do. Yang reaction over towards the boys. They're able to escape. He against Chadera. He goes back to the Nibiru in time. Geek Fam, the diversion. They're not gonna know what hit him. Sans in the back, going for a boy, going for the kill. A boy taken out. Vincent chased down by Kyrie on the Suyo. Another 4, a stun missing, and Fnatic will have to back away for now. They'll have another wave in the mid lane to try to end the game.
It's just Vincent having to stare at the deadly corpses of his teammates. Fnatic, they want to reclaim their throne. They look to set their sights on the crystal. It's just Vincent having to hold this by himself.
1v5, last insanity. Can he get the retribution? He bought him in so much time. He will finally be taken down. Chadera's going to be up again. He bought enough time with the diversion coming down though from Fnatic. He's going to go straight for the Lord.
They peace out right out of there. Immediately to the Lord. Geek Fam trying to find a way to capitalize again on the over-aggression of Fnatic, but it won't be allowed at all. The goal difference now back to 7,000. Fnatic, after the minor setback, it was a major setback, but they made it look like a minor setback in the grand scheme of things. Now with the Lord at their backs, once again, their task is to crack open the base. This is Geek Fam, under the shot calling of Beloyski. They've been able to fend off a lot of different kinds of attempts to crack open the base. But now against Fnatic, there's just so many variables. Can they do it yet again?
Great wave manipulation from the side of Geek Fam. Keyboy trying to go for a cheeky iron hook. There's one minion that wasn't cleared out though. Now Fnatic make their charge into the base. Kai with the snipe over to the Faraga armor. This time Vincent has the immortality. Lord of the mid lane dealt with. Now Veldora will be caught. Still having the help of the guiding wind. Vincent still dealing with the Lord. Lord has been dealt with. Anyways, coming down. The base wide open. The real rebel blade will zone CWS. Kyrie will be isolated, but will still be able to blink out to safety. A boy picking up one. Cody into the back. CW going to be compromised. CW's pinned down by the Spirit of Misery as he goes in for the wind of nature. But CW gets the Bennett down onto Chadera with a flicker. This is a risky play, Chadera. Now with a blink again. Almost getting the massive play to turn the game around. But we have ourselves a game, folks. 2 for 1.
This is still game number 1. Sheesh. So high paced and Geek Fam. They're still able to hold the line. Fnatic, it seems like they're stuck in a cul-de-sac trying to push into the base of Geek Fam. What's the main problem, Arashi?
It's the lack of range, technically, and the way that they were operating, they go for pickoffs. But the fact that Beloyski has been able to save whoever's getting jumped on again and again, Veldora got bloody hunted, and he was spirited down by the Bennett's rage. But then Beloyski comes in and saves him, right? With that with all the resources being spent to try and get Veldora out of the game, and he survived, right? He comes back in along with all the AoE coming in from Aboy, from Chidera. They just have to make sure that the pickup attempt actually lands. And the thing is, Beloyski is so good at foreseeing how these fights are going to go and just saving the right spell for the right moment. Again and again here, he's able to deny Fnatic Onyx play with a Circling Eagle just a couple of fights earlier, and even with the Guiding Winds at the right exact moment. That's what they have to try and deal with here. Fnatic Onyx have to find a way to not fight Geek Fam front to back. In theory, it should be right here when they're playing against the Lord in the Lord dances. If they can find a fight against Geek Fam here outside, when they can use a flank maneuver, when they can go for a diversion play, that could be their win condition. But I don't think Geek Fam will bite. They are known as one of the more patient teams in MPL ID.
It's far easier for Fnatic Onyx to maneuver back when Geek Fam is coming towards them because they have so much control with the Luo Yi, and then you have Rez. Could pop that pathway defensively. But then so far, Geek Fam, they have been very much defensive. They have been very patient on waiting for Fnatic Onyx to pull the trigger.
Let's see.
And it's going to be an important Lord for them. Geek Fam, will they defend or will they catch the bait?
Well, Fnatic Onyx are first on to the Lord. They will reset, they will give them time. Moskov in the bottom lane still clearing out the wave, so this is great setup for Fnatic Onyx.
Yeah, this is, you know, the good opportunity that Geek Fam has. They have the global presence, but look at this hook!
Over to Veldora. Circling Eagle trying to cancel it. Veldora gets deleted before he can even do anything. Now do they fight? Real Rebel Blaze catching Sans. Oh, Cody not connecting. Sans very low. Pops it to conceal from Keyboy. Trying to survive. Beloyski buying a little bit more time, trying to get an angle of attack. The minions. But take a look at the minion waves in the mid lane, crashing down into the base. A big forced error from the side of Fnatic Onyx into Geek Fam, but they have minion waves spawning in again. Diversion to bring Sans back into the Lord pits.
Oh, Fnatic Onyx, they have so much prio up top and mid, and Rez will open up the pathway.
Kyrie with the stun, Aboy getting the dash. Now it's going to be Vincent, who's going to be caught in the midst of it all. Rez bursts it down, has the winner crown. That's going to be his passion, cancelled out by Beloyski. Kyrie in the back. Going for Aboy, who has the flicker. Vincent still somehow surviving. Will lose his immortality though. Shot down by Kyrie in the arrow of the immortal form.
Oh man, a massive back and forth right here. Both teams swapping the items out as well. Veldora now with the Winter Crown. Rez though is way too low. He's sticking around knowing how important this Lord is, but Geek Fam, they're still here to fight. They want to make sure they do get the moment they require.
So deep into the front. Circling Eagle, 2-man. They need to go for a big fight here. Rez, can he survive?
Diversion.
1 HP gets shot with a diversion. No! What? No, that was... The diversion was in place? Was it?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
Interesting result right there.
Game of
But
inches.
Fnatic Onyx, unfazed man. Low HP bars, ultimates down, it doesn't matter. They have confidence in their execution. Chidera picks up the rose gold right there, rounding out the full 6-item inventory slot. This might be the final fight right here. If one team comes out on top dominantly, let's say with a wipeout, this could be the final fight for either team.
Now, marching towards the base, eyeing the crystal, and the Lord this time will accompany them. Geek Fam, they have to make yet another defense.
That's with the last insanity. Real Will Relation used up as well. CW zoned away by Veldora. Oh! He will lose his slot to Sans with the Yang reaction. Chidera getting the pin down onto 2 members. The base is open. Sans wants to go for it. Lord taking very low. That's a stun over from Kai, and Fnatic Onyx gets it done in game number 1 after a back and forth.
Geek Fam made it hard, and Fnatic Onyx still, they remain supreme in game number 1. That was so close. And Geek Fam, their base, rock solid for 2 or 3 pushes coming from Fnatic Onyx, but still they prevail. 1-0. Fnatic Onyx gets the victory.
Man, that was such a close game technically. Even if you're supporting Fnatic Onyx, you wouldn't think it would go like that. Gold lead swinging from 10k down to 3k, down to 7, and then up back to 7k. It was really a back and forth effort because both teams understand this is the playoffs. There is no second life. The first game is so decisive, so important because it kind of sets the tone for the rest of the match. But for Geek Fam, even though it's a defeat, I think it's a bit of confidence as well. They were able to push Fnatic Onyx to dangerous territory right there, way further.
Is also a really good counter towards the clumping up composition of this Nether Realm coming in from Aboy. So It's a good one, especially combined with the diversion and dispersion and the skills coming from Luoyi. Again, the same problem for Geekfam in game number 1. Now, what's gonna be the option here? I think you're gonna have to somehow... Oh man, is it too late to go for a pick-off composition at this point with the Paramis and also Hylos?
Nah, Clint look promising because Clint is a high ground marksman that it will be hard to be reached by the opponents. But with the playstyle of Kadera, maybe Moskov, you're gonna use Moskov than Clint.
Lolita?
The priestess of primal lightning.
Matrix.
Yeah, it is Mikal.
The evil gods.
Forgot about it.
Oh man.
Sand rises when I
So
give the
this
word.
should be a Khalid. So it's gonna be a Khalid roam for Keyboy, presumably here against, I guess, Beloyski on the Hylos. It's gonna be an interesting matchup.
Wait, is this the first Khalid roam?
No, Beloyski used it the first time.
But like in the
on the regular
playoffs.
season.
In the playoffs, yes.
Yes, on
In
the playoffs.
MPLPH, JP is the only one who used it, and he lost.
Oh,
It's JP's fault.
But with the potential of
Oh, it's
Khalid
JP's
role,
fault.
they can play very aggressively and like invading the enemy's jungler later on the early game.
this is very interesting. Okay, so before we throw it over to our casters, real quick, Colius,
Fnac.
Fnac, Chefin.
Geekfam.
All right.
No
Our-
bias, by the way.
No bias, ladies and gentlemen. Second game awaits us. We are gonna throw it over to our casters real soon. Let's actually ring them. Ring, ring, ring. Casters, you there?
Moshi Moshi, hello. Yeah, we are here, Eterna. We got your phone call. Thank you. And welcome back to the game. And if you close your eyes and take a look at the drafts, you will think that Fnatic Onyx draft is much more of a Geek Camp draft because of this Khalid roam.
Does it almost feel like nothing changed at all? That's the real question. Realized, but hey, Keyboy on the roam Khalid. This hero has oppressive, especially in the early game, and in the hands of someone like Keyboy that's well known for being really annoying, right? Back when the Masha roam, for instance, was a thing. You know, we've seen a similar playstyle, right? You have a lot of damage and sustainability in this early game, and Keyboy is not known to put that to waste. So Vincent is going to be having a lot of issues, but a boy is there to back him up.
You know, were able to dish out some damage. Keyboy was stunned up earlier too, but it's a Khalid. You can always just regen back up. That's the strength of the Khalid.
Yeah, mid prio as well, given to Fnatic Onyx, but the emblems are actually.
Bargain Hunter for CW wants to scale up faster. Chidera was trying to bully him in the lane actually.
Yikes.
Gonna be a bit more aggressive. The Wilderness Blessing in the hands of Keyboy is just so annoying, man. You're gonna see him zoom around, just sliding on the sands again and again. Whereas on the other side, Beloyski, this is not the hero that we expect him to be using, right? Just a straightforward front tank. We think of Beloyski as a bit more of a playmaker. Exactly. Now he's able to do so, only running the tenacity with the vitality for that Hylos.
Yeah. Wait. W getting bullied, has to flicker away, and Chidera has the damage to bully away the Natan. And now CW, he loses prio up top. He has to go back and catch the wave.
That's the aggressive emblem value he's getting. In the mid lane though, again, a boy. Back then the Faramis used to be a signature pick, but with the Faramis kind of dropping down in prio here, we haven't really seen it being as oppressive as it used to be. In the early game though, Sans' damage on the low Yi, definitely nothing to sneeze at, but Rez,
Diversion coming out. Veldora pops in Earth Shatter. Ooh, now with the fracture, Veldora able to flicker out to safety. Beloyski pops in Revitalize. And that's another realm of a boy! Out sustaining the damage of Fnatic Onyx and getting the dub. Rez down. Vincent on the turtle.
Another realm saves them. They're able to set their sights, lay claim on this turtle, uncontested. Keyboy will be there. Watch it out, Chidera!
What? Chidera? Surprise, surprise! Beatrix, Chidera is back.
man, what was that? The whole time in the regular season, Chidera's the passive player.
Weak side.
He
Weak
just
side
plays
player.
weak side, he farms up. What is this, dude? CW's getting beat up.
We forgot Chad Era in the playoffs.
It's a different look for sure, man. And CW running the weakness finder as well. Definitely not expecting this kind of approach coming in from Chidera. Geekfam already getting a bit more of an advantage with the outplays, right? With the way they were able to actually match the early game aggression from Fnatic Onyx. If they can keep this up, they have a pretty good pathway to a strong mid game.
Actually, it's kind of hard for CW to now traverse his way because the Beatrix will just be such a menace, bullying away. And Beloyski, that's the value you have when you have high loss in the hands of Beloyski. Could just run forward. He's run it down and zone out the players of Fnatic Onyx. They look to collapse on Sans.
Oh, was that literally a glorious pathway just to poke Sans, just to stun him? That's a petty glorious pathway, but hey, we don't judge BBB.
But maybe it's a mind game, right? Beloyski is known to do weird things that end up working out, but look at this diversion.
Pixel brush. Oh, okay. They didn't like that poke to Sans. Yep, they just punished him. No poking Sans.
Sans was like, you bite, you can chew. And a Keyboy.
Oh, that's a whole lot of damage to Mirror's Passion as well. Keyboy. Moving out to safety. Meanwhile, that space that he was able to get. Vincent trying to go for the assassination. Keyboy in the bush. Vincent looking for the stun. Unable to go for it. A snipe. Oh my, 1 HP Keyboy. How? Oh my goodness.
Oh, there's a lot of snipes happening. It was the Runner's Apathy and now the Suyo in the hands of Vincent. But what do you see now? Arash, what's happening?
It's happening. I mean, both teams are just going toe to toe. Oh, Tradera is accurate right now, deadly accurate. Fnatic Onyx though, again, without that big play, they can't really match the team fight potential.
Oh, Rez, 4 members on him. The glorious pathway to stun him down too. Wow, they really don't like Rez. 0, 2, and 1. Geek Fam go for another setup onto the turtle.
It's very rare you see Geek Fam able to really out-macro Fnatic Onyx. But in regular season, they lost 4 times against Geek Fam, so it's not a question. But Beloyski again is exerting the pressure towards Kyrie. Now, the Nolan does not have a comfortable time playing this hero.
It's funny, man. They just went back to bare down basics. All they did was get a strong frontliner, right? They still want to play front to back, but now they have an actual tank frontliner instead of a Matilda, and now they have Chidero on someone that actually does a ton of damage, the same way we saw CW do in game number 1. And with that, they're able to just zone out from Onyx again and again. Look at the damage!
Luckily, Earthshatter didn't connect, so Keyboy was able to pop in that Raging Sandstorm to escape. Still though, they're playing strong side Chidera. They've changed. Vincent won't check that bush. Kyrie, so far he hasn't really been able to mirror the movements of Suyo that well. The Glorious Pathway now placed down on the Keyboy. No one doesn't have the Glorious Pathway, or knowing that he doesn't have the Raging Sandstorm rather. Beloyski trying to predict that someone will take that diversion, but Fnatic Onyx have no members to take it, only Suns.
Yeah, and the panelists talked about it as well, right? The way you want to play this Nolan against the Suyo is you want to mirror the movements, but Kyrie hasn't been able to really do just that. And now Geek Fam have so much control, they want to collapse again.
Uh-oh, Rez will be forced to go in, get shot down by the Renner's Apathy. Rez with a front pursuit, but now the Bennett's Rage comes down over. Rez isolated from the team. Jandera picking up the kill. Now NetherRealm coming down as well to help Veldora escape. Keyboy Raging Sandstorm, and the catching Veldora, who tried to go for the dodge.
Wow, a bit of a trade there, but the turret falls to Geek Fam. The Suns divergence out. I think a big signature moment, a signature factor here you have to talk about is the fact that Sans hasn't really been able to get any prio in the mid lane, with the roamers busy doing something else so many places at once, in the jungle, in the bottom lane, in the top lane. These mid laners are kind of stuck in a 1v1, and a boy has been able to get so much more value. He's been able to rotate faster than Sans. We haven't seen a lot of diversions kind of set up by Fnatic Onyx just yet.
Yeah, that's the biggest question, right? Because the Khalid really wants to enable that prio in the mid lane, get the turtle, but now they're on a risk of losing yet another one. And Fnatic Onyx, they want to stumble into this diversion play, unpopped, and now Geek Fam, will they be able to defend this?
Kyrie is super far away. The zoning is immaculate from Beloyski. Now Rez with the Infernal Pursuit. He can't do much on a Phobius. On a Vengeance, you can't escape. Once you go in, you're dead. Vincent going for the chase on the Suns, but he's still able to flicker out. Now, whoa! Chasing all the way, Veldora onward. Now the snipe over. Beloyski says he doesn't even need the snipe. Gets the kill. But Nolan will be finally able to get a trade. So 2 turrets for 1 turret and a turtle.
Yeah, they're pressing panic button now. They're playing the side lanes. Up top is Kyrie, down bottom is CW. Able to cut down each 1 tier turrets. And now, Geek Fam, at least they have the control.
Man, a great adjustment for Geek Fam to really be decisive in the neutral objectives. But for Fnatic Onyx, the instant decision there to send CW to the bottom side using the diversion and then go for the split. They're able to get 2 turrets because of that play, right? With the Nolan split pushing on the top side. But now, with the mid tower down, Geek Fam can use that as leverage to kind of cut off the rest of the map from that mid lane, right? That mid lane turret falling down means faster rotations, even faster than before for Geek Fam, and also opens up the jungle. So if Kyrie was just farming up, trying to keep up in levels of Vincent, he's already failing there. Now with the jungle more exposed, it's even more dangerous for him too.
BOD completed as well. Lewis pathway.
Raging Sandstorm from Keyboy. Gets out to safety, nothing. Burnt out really from both sides, just the two ultimate CW. Oh, we'll take the entire Bennett's Rage! Sans, diversion, off angle, good flicker around. Vincent goes for the snipe under the turret. Sans even compromised as well. Weird positioning from Fnatic Onyx as they get punished. Keyboy with a flicker out though. Nolan in the bottom lane, looking for the tier 2, should be able to get it. So at least it's a trade, 2 kills. CW and Sans for the tier 2.
Mishaps for Fnatic Onyx. They're off position. The diversion was forced by Sans to pop in front of Beloyski and CW. He ate all the damage of the Bennett's Rage. And now, thankfully they don't lose that topside turret, but again, they had to pay the price of losing 2 members. And on bottom, at least Kyrie was working on the turret.
Turret down for 2 kills. You know, in theory, that's not really a bad trade for Fnatic Onyx. Now they're also already available for the next big neutral objective fight. And you can see that Veldora was actually on the bottom side, already going for a push. That's a diversion play to try and catch the rotators, but GakeFam played safe. They rotate in a wide angle, and now you're going to see Kyrie Shaw on the bottom side. Will GakeFam just rush this?
No, they're going to take a chill. So now they decide to pull the trigger. Bennett's Rage, yep. They're going to try to blitz this down. Fnatic Onyx, do they react in time? No reaction. Free Lord for GeekFam. Well played.
Holy smokes, they rush it down. And GeekFam, this is not how you would pan the game to be. For Fnatic Onyx though, what are they supposed to do now?
And Onyx, it's about waiting to the late game, I guess. CW, again, only level 11. Again, his items, he's only completed like 2, almost 3 items. So there's a chance for this game to go long enough until he actually skills up, does a lot of damage, right? Rez also gets tankier as time goes on. But again, have to make sure that they play around the surprising moments and not around the neutral objectives.
Renner Apathy already towards CW. He popped into Entropy, so...
1v1.
Yeah, that's a tier 2 for free in the bottom lane. That's 1v1 happening now. Veldora with the onward, catching Rez again. Infernal Pursuit of the Vengeance now with another realm popped in as well. Chidera just snipes him down with a basic attack. Again, Rez has fallen for the 5th time this game. Keyboy dealing no damage to a boy. He takes it like a man.
The Nether Realm proves to be very crucial in the times where they want to fight, and a boy has been using it fantastically. Every time Rez wants to jump in, it's a fantastic Nether Realm from a boy.
And the positioning of GeekFam to ensure that Fnatic Onyx have to spend a lot of time and effort and attention to really get to the backline, and even when they do, that's where the Nether Realm is popped. They're not, GeekFam aren't positioning their backliners in a vulnerable position and then trying to rely on the Nether Realm. It's a double layer of defense, and from positioning as well as the zoning coming through from Beloyski on the Hylas. That's what they're using to really get an advantage. But look at the damage, dude. A boy, half HP from a single rotation of spells. As GeekFam take the towers slowly but surely, but that's the Holy Crystal completed for CW. That's a very significant power spike. We'll see if Beloyski can withstand that damage.
We're gonna get the condition out. It's going to be weather the storm. For Fnatic Onyx, they have to hold as long as they can. I mean, Sans' late game damage will be very significant. Yet another damage as well from CW, who will be the one to provide the damage. But now the question becomes, will Kyrie be that significant? Because as a Nolan, you really want to snowball in the early game. So how will he proceed into the late game later on?
He can still really pressure, force spells out, right? Maybe threaten and force out the Nether Realm. I think what's more important is to look at Vincent here on the Suyo. There have been so many questions of whether or not he can pull it off. And if he does, if he can, it's going to be a great addition to the potential of GeekFam. And he's doing great on the Suyo. Hasn't really been caught off guard, hasn't really been caught out of position, and he's using the kit quite reliably. It seems like he has a lot of time on this hero at this point, and he's kind of really good at deciding when and where and what spell to use at what moment. He's also not really revealing himself because there's no need to, right? And now the frontline issue becomes a problem here. Rez and Keyboy are tanky, but in front of a snowballing Beatrix, a 3-0 and 3 Beatrix, they just don't look that tanky at all.
Yeah, see Halbert completed as well for that anti-regen towards Beloyski, but Kyrie?
Whoa! Great catch earlier, but Kyrie was able to push in enough damage to actually throw Vincent back. Kyrie actually winning the trade with regeneration, helping him out. But it's okay for Vincent. He can go back to his own jungle too. So for both these jungles, yeah, it was just a bit of a, a jab at each other.
Chidera goes with the Rose Gold Meteor as well, and with Boy picking up the Lightning Truncheon, more teamfight potential, but look at Rez already trying to make a difference, trying to push away Geek Fam, but look at the diversion.
Yeah, Boy reads it out. The Earth Shatter from Eldora. And the reset for the Lord.
Yeah, they're just juggling it around, and the taunt wasn't baited out. Beloyski
Should still be good. Has revitalized as well. Veldora! Earth Shatter and the onward Rez. I thought it was isolated, but actually is him escaping. Popping into Vengeance and Geek Fam respected. Oh! The double snipe from Vincent and Chidera. CW and Rez are forced back. And this is a free Lord for Geek Fam because of the snipes.
2 hitmans in the family, and that is Vincent and Chidera. Just wanting to snipe down Fnatic Onyx, and just because of that single bullet, multiplied by 2, Fnatic Onyx scamper away, and they relinquish control of the Lord.
In a way, that kind of played okay for Fnatic Onyx as well, because the wave was pushing on the top side. The fact that they did not end up going for a risky maneuver there, and they were able to actually protect the top side base turret. It's a small win, but look at Kyrie. What is he doing here? What is he scheming?
Cutting the wave is just not letting Geek Fam have the privileges of building that minion wave. I feel like they want to crash it into the base.
But he has let the wave past. I think he was looking for some kind of takeoff. Looking for a flank angle right here when they least expect it, maybe. See how that pays off. He's taking it very, very slow as the waves, crashing at the same time almost.
Entropy from CW to escape from the Render's apathy. Now Chidera on the Nibiru. Veldora dealing with the waves. Disengage, but the Lord has already dealt with 1 base turret. Oh, now Kyrie jumps up the Fracture. Boy able to flicker out in time as Keyboy gets stunned up. Lord brought into the mid lane. It will not hit the base, but it actually gave Geek Fam the opportunity to go for the 2nd base turret in the mid lane. 2 base turrets, and it's the far one away from the next neutral objective.
It's easy as flipping the palm of your hands, and Geek Fam get it done so easily. Now they have so much comfortability into trying to siege towards Onyx base, and now Fnatic Onyx, they have to address the pressure coming in, threatening their base.
By all means, you can still try and make use of the diversion to try and deal with this macro play, but man, Geek Fam has everything working in their favor here in the next neutral objective fight. The team fights, the AoE, the damage output, even the waves. Especially with Beloyski here, has just picked up the Twilight Armor as well. Again, this item was kind of buffed in the last patch, the last big patch. So now, oh man, if Fnatic Onyx are trying to match that kind of burst, even onto Beloyski, it won't be that simple any longer. Look at Kyrie though.
Yeah, Kyrie's just in the shadows looming. He's not necessarily mirroring the movements of Vincent. I mean, it's way too late to do just that as well. It's down to 16 minutes now. He's just looking for a flank angle. Maybe, you know, San's gonna yeet him out with the diversion. But it's so hard for Fnatic Onyx now. I mean, Chidera feels like he has aimbot as well with the Renner's apathy.
But now that's a full inventory slot for Kyrie with the molecular war.
Rez, no mobility. Bennett's Rage again. The Vengeance is able to keep him alive for a bit. Chidera with the gun down, but it's onto the Vengeance. Down to that wall. That is Rez's 6th death, and Keyboy can't do anything about it. No one from Fnatic Onyx can deal with that. Another getting CW. What a read from Chidera. But unfortunately, it was a pixel away, and the Lord should be free again for Geek Fam. Is this the game-ending Lord?
Deathless there, looking to just assassinate CW on the back of the Renner's apathy. But this Lord, like Mirko mentioned, Arashi, will this be the game-ending Lord?
It might as well be, man. There's a lot of damage available for Fnatic Onyx with the low Yi with the Natan as well, reaching full items finally. But Geek Fam have item swaps that they can utilize to really get an edge in the next fight. And not to mention, man, you know, but if you close your eyes, realize does it almost feel like nothing changed.
Yeah.
Geek Fam abusing the Netherrealm, playing a front to back, taking it to the late game, and just playing it calm, cool, collected around the neutral objectives. What season is it?
It feels so clean, so disciplined, so structural. And now, the bigger test awaits. Will Fnatic Onyx hold? The Lord charges in.
Glorious pathway used up already. Veldora with the plan. Oh my god, Rez! Pops in with the crown. Now Radiant Sandstorm unable to connect there. Rez will be isolated. Taken now. Winner crown by Keyboy as he goes for the heal, but he will not be able to heal that damage. Again with the Earth Shatter. Veldora catches Kyrie. San's able to flicker out to safety. CW walks into his demise. Geek Fam equalize. It's 1-1.
The King Slayers descend and pull down the Sky Kings. They are yet to celebrate, but at least they equalize it. 1-1. Geek Fam steal game number 2.
Man, we just thought that Fnatic Onyx looking different. It's doing so well. And this is their playoff form that everyone was fearing. But Geek Fam, immediately after a close game in game number 1, turned it around and demolished Fnatic Onyx in game 2 on all fronts.
And it's a one-sided game as well, Arashi. It's so dominant. Fnatic Onyx just in the back foot for almost 15 minutes. It seems like Geek Fam, they had Fnatic Onyx number. They're able to just outmaneuver them in every single department. That NetherRealm popped on time. It feels like a very traditional composition. Nothing too flashy. Nothing too...
dangerous, but yeah, they still have Edith, and Edith is more dangerous than Franco on this draft. That's why it's a wise ban from Geek Fam.
I think they have some kind of solution towards the Franco, knowing that they just gonna let go of this hero, because when you think about it, in the first game, Kaja was open for Keyboy, and they choose to go for the Franco, I believe. Kaja was
Banned out.
Oh, banned.
It's
Ban
the
out.
same ban. Kaja and Edith in the second phase.
Oh, okay, never mind. So yeah, it's going to be a Tigreal for Beloski.
Wow.
We talk about this.
It's a deny.
Tigreal, especially in M5, Beloski used to play this hero a lot. And it's a good complement towards the Alpha's combo, but we got a cross-region data here, Eterna.
Yeah, in the MPL Atom Season 2 playoffs, it looks like Phoveus has a 100% pick and ban rate with a total of 6 picks and a 50% win rate. What do you think about the Phoveus in our region, MPL ID so far?
I think Phoveus is still strong, but we need to be careful because usually, like the team tendencies is more using the crowd control XP lane, so it can like helping the teammates during the team fights, or they're using like Hylos, the very tanky one, because Phoveus is not that tanky anymore.
I like that mid laner. You know, a lot of control towards some of the dives that's coming in from Geek Fam's composition, especially when you're playing this kind of heroes, Alpha, Tigreal, and Phoveus. It is just a hassle to play against this Curse Blast, these Terrifies, and also the Eternal Guard overall. And if you used the Purify Suns, it can serve as a cancel for the Implosion. So it's a cover for the Franco and also enables some of the damage-dealing heroes coming in from Fnatic Onyx, and they close it out with a Natan. So a bit more magic damage, I like that, but in terms of physical damage, a bit lacking, but I don't think that's going to be a problem.
Because Nathan, if he already got the power spike, I think it will be a very dangerous hero, especially for defending the high ground. Looking at the draft, on the third game, I think it's gonna be Geek.
Geek, okay. What
You
about
don't
you,
have to ask.
Sheffin?
You don't-
Okay. It's definitely Fnatic Onyx. Thank you, Sheffin. But remember, ladies and gentlemen, so far in this current match, and so far in this current patch, rather, the team that is able to get a better early game footing will win this. And it looks like Fnatic Onyx have a really solid early game. So with that, we'll throw it over to the casters to bring us game number 3.
Thank you, panelists, and now we are back. It's game number 3. Into the Land of Dawn we go. Still Fnatic Onyx trailing, or rather equalized, after what was such a dominant game by Geek Fam. But will they be able to retain the dominance in game number 3?
Well, this is an interesting fact. In both games, 1 and 2. Oh, whoa, hang on a minute. Beloski?
Oh, trying to go for the clear. Oh,
He reset it.
yeah,
The
quick
buff.
reset. It's not going to be the full reset like before the whole patch of the purple buff, but still, it's annoying, and it will give Vincent already an advantageous clearer on the Alpha. Even more time to now just build out that snowball.
Yeah, it's a great delay.
Well, the fun fact I was going to say is that both teams that actually won in game 1 and 2 had the Beatrix, Hylas, and Suyo. That's an interesting coincidence. Beloski once again, though.
Again with a shove over to Keyboy. Unfortunately, there's no Spear of Alpha. There's an Iron Hook, though. Again, both these roamers just playing with their skills, going back and forth, but definitely Vincent getting a lot of value with the faster clear because of Beloy's reset.
Beloski going with the pull yourself together along with the firmness, so it's just tankiness and playmaking as always. More in line with what he's used to. And in the gold lane, see the weapon mastery again from CW, so Whoa!
Keyboy, oh, curse blast from Sans and the basic attack fade away. You can try to flicker out of the basic attack, but it'll follow you. Vincent, not level 4. Whoa, I think Kyrie took that away.
It's insane how Kyrie was delayed, but not Baloyski.
A mistake from a boy, then a mistake from Baloy. Can he escape? Sans, curse blast, no flicker to get away. 2 early kills from Sans. And you can see the reset, or rather the pressure placed down Vincent with the Spear of Alpha defensively. Kyrie with the force. Trying to go for a little bit more damage. Veldora displaces him, stops him from going for the immortal form for even longer. But what looked to be a dub for Geek Fam is now turned into a massive win. Keyboy! Again with another hook onto a boy.
Whew. The pressure coming in from this Franco, dude. In theory, Geek Fam, you know, they can still get a bit of an advantage. They still have a lot of good setup tools to go for big team fights. But Fnatic Onyx, as long as they're able to leverage the frontline durability of Rez and Keyboy's pressure here, if they can get the advantage in moving into the jungle in the rotations and setting up traps for Geek Fam, they can start snowballing very reliably.
My oh my.
Whoa, a lot of things happening, and it's skill shot galore. Land of Dawn for game number 3. So far, the pressure has been exerted a lot by Keyboy. Penetration minute by CWs. Just clear out the wave and maybe create irritation from Sans. And so far, Kyrie, he was delayed with the purple buff, but the fact that he was able to get in level 4 earlier than Vincent is not short of something very, 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 very good for Fnatic Onyx, because he's able to be in the fights again and so present as well for Fnatic Onyx.
Well, Baloyski and Keyboy, you're seeing a big difference right here. Baloyski is just kind of reacting for the most part. He did go and prioritize the invasion, the delay onto Kyrie's farming right there, but Keyboy is just going aggressively in the lanes. That's a big difference. And for Fnatic Onyx, this trio mid is just so lethal right now. Franco, Vexana, and the Suyo. This early game is dangerous coming in from Fnatic Onyx, and you're seeing Geek Fam respected, but sometimes they are overextending a bit more, allowing Keyboy to find a lot of these value moments.
You know, they'll look to snowball even further, maybe shut down the Natan, like how it was in last game, in game number 2. I mean, Shadara was all over the place towards CW, did not give him a chance to play the lane, especially after that solo kill. CW was just fully shut down, but now it's a different side of the coins. Shadara having to play the Natan, and now CW with the Beatrix. Turtle spawning though, and Baloyski is already standing behind the pit. But Onyx, of course, Fnatic Onyx rather, they will try to force this one out.
Yeah, they have the tools to do so. Like we said, the control right here. Baloy's going to be zoned out, bullied away by Rez. Veldora is trying to open up the situation, but Sans is close by.
Zone them in the back. Up the Baloy's pathway as well. He doesn't even use a Revitalize. No, that's just normal regen. He's able to zone the entire Geek Fam away. Chadera on the other side of the map, just farming on the Natan as expected.
Yeah, doesn't want the pressure from the Beatrix. He swaps lanes up top. And Rez is there to catch the wave as well. They look to invade the purple, but nah, Geek Fam, they deny it.
Veldora though, 1v3 potentially, but no, it's too durable, the Phobias, so Fnatic Onyx won't be going for that risky play. Kyrie once more with the aggressive itemization here, going for the cooldown boots, just getting as many skills out as possible. Vincent on the Alpha, despite the advantageous clear, just due to the pressure, hasn't really been able to find a lot of moments in the mid lane or the side lanes. So Geek Fam needs to be trying to match Fnatic Onyx, trying to stifle their early game aggression, but it's looking quite difficult, and now it's opening windows here for CW to actually get the tower on the bottom side.
Oh, a boy has to flicker from that. I don't know if it was going to connect. Real world play to Baloyski. Implosion, but Eternal Guard cancels for a bit. Now Spear of Alpha over to Keyboy, but the Bloody unlocks him down. Kyrie gets rid of him. Veldora the Flaker, able to find a Demonic Force. Now over to the Infernal Pursuit. Chidera getting a kill over to Rez as well. And it becomes a 2-for-2. Geek Fam looking at damage from Kyrie. Did not expect that. Chidera definitely has to respect that now. And to the mid lane, it's a tier 1, so in favor of Fnatic Onyx still.
2-4-2, and it was an instant trade. A lot of things happening. Who won that trade, Arashi?
I gotta say, Fnatic Onyx definitely came out on top there. The mid turret that's just so critical right here. Talking about rotations, right? How important it is to get the trio mid prio in the current meta. Usually teams would kind of expend resources just to save that one middle, the first middle turret there in the mid lane. But Fnatic Onyx were able to get it for free technically, and they still came out kind of equal in that engagement. And with Sans picking up 3 kills, man, it's gonna be a really scary situation.
Terrified into the hook, but the Eternal Guard actually knocks him out. Beloyski very low. Purple buff. Stolen away by Kyrie, I believe it was. Both red trees used up, but Kyrie, the advantage being 3 levels ahead.
Yeah, we talked about this when the draft was going. It was either you go for a Valentina or a Vexana to just play against the Tiger on the hands of Beloyski. He has so much feel and engage in our res in the front line. Bloody Hunt.
Real equation coming down with the Eternal Guard not being there just yet, but Sans is doing a lot of damage with CW. Just getting them down slowly but surely. A boy is next on the chopping block, and Kyrie just basic attacks him to take him out. 4 members of Geek Fam traded just for Keyboy and Rez.
It was an interesting move from Geek Fam, man. They know that they're behind. They know that they're snowballing members on the side of Fnatic Onyx, and they just met them head on in a 5v5 there. What did they think was gonna happen, man? CW completely popped off right there. Just like that, neutral objective swings over to Fnatic Onyx, and the whole jungle just gets invaded, taken away. Fnatic Onyx, this was one of their win conditions. Make sure that they have the pressure and they have Keyboy just set up the traps. Beloyski's concealed, only able to actually get Geek Fam anything right now.
They have so much zone control. They have zoning tools to use. They have lockdown is on the hands of Keyboy in case Eldora just does jump into the backline and maybe look for a pick off. And Keyboy is there to always be present, just appeal for his teammates. And now Geek Fam, what do they do in this scenario? It's 8-4, 6.2k gold deficit, or gold lead rather, for Fnatic on a Geek Fam. It feels like they're caged inside of the base as they try to reclaim control of their jungle.
They have to try and wait for a big moment with a big implosion. We saw that one of the fights that almost went Geek Fam's way came on way of that, but look at that hook!
Iron Hook of the Bloody Hunt into the burst down. Sans with the Curse Blast, able to find him. The real world ablation, zoning CW away. But look at Vincent with the Spear of Alpha over the res. They don't do enough damage. Kyrie for the flags and a shutdown from CW. Render's Apathy and Iron Hook from Keyboy. And a triple for Kyrie.
Wipeout! Fnatic Onyx once again show who the kings are. How do you play if your playmaker is gone? In a blink of an eye, Keyboy, that was a good pick off towards Beloyski. No implosion, no attack wave, no sacred hammer to supplement Geek Fam to make the fight happen.
What can Geek Fam do right now, man? In a front to back, they can't really come out on top. They do have ways to kind of play the high ground technically. If they buy enough time, a boy in Chidera can do a lot of damage, but then Vincent will fall off, and they're going to be very heavily reliant on magical damage. And until that point later, oh, Chidera!
Looking for it, Eternal Guard actually captures him, but they go on to Sanzu! 4-man from Beloyski, no follow-up though! Fear of Alpha finding through! That's a good stun from Kyrie to disengage, to stop what looked to be a game-changing play from Beloyski.
Arashi got the point. They're able to just go in. A boy, low HP, Kyrie gets the double.
Not enough, not enough. Take down CW, take down Sans, but Kyrie has 7 kills.
He's 5 levels ahead of Vincent as well. And he has more than enough damage to just secure this Lord outright. That was a step in the right direction for Geek Fam. Getting a couple of, actually 2 very value shutdowns there. The mid lane and the gold laner. That's almost ideal there. A play started by Beloyski, followed up by his team. Actually by Chidera who started things off. But Geek Fam, they gotta be a bit more respectful again of the danger of Fnatic Onyx. After going in for a fight like that, if they get the advantage, they have to know when to kind of tone it down. Looking at the items here, Glowing One and Wishing Lantern for Geek Fam, so the poke is definitely in there. But again, with the advantage that Fnatic Onyx has, even the Roamer, the Franco that kind of doesn't have a lot of gold income, in theory, has a Radiant Armor. So it's going to be a tough, long, drawn-out fight for Geek Fam to really get a lot of victories when it comes to the front to back. But if they can get the pickoffs, again, that is what they need to do, right? The lack of purifiers on CW is something that Geek Fam can definitely abuse.
Yeah, Geek Fam has to be wary of that. Turn passive pop, Lord marching in. They might be able to scrap a few turrets, but the end is still way too far for them to think about. So Fnatic Onyx just play it safe. Oh boy, look at those hooks.
That's the big problem, man. No one can really take the hook without repercussion. Yeah, maybe Beloyski is tanky enough, but then afterwards, what does he do?
Oh, wow. Gee, yeah, when your front line gets bursted like that from Kyrie's shot, I mean, that wasn't even the Renner. That 7-0. speaks for itself, I guess. Fnatic Onyx aren't able to take any of the base rush just yet, but man, this is looking scary. It's looking bleak. 8.5k gold lead. They can just freeze up the waves and continue to do what they've been doing in game 1.
Yo, we underlooked Kyrie somehow. He's a sleeping giant, 7-0. Has his items ready, and even Sans stacking up those damages. And Fnatic Onyx, it seems like they're taking it slow. Could Lord be the timer for them?
Ooh. Oh, interesting.
Very uncharacteristic mistakes from a boy, I would say.
RWM? I think the idea is to use RWM's crowd control immunity to survive if the hook actually lands.
Yeah, but usually he's like super nonchalant about it, you know?
Exactly, usually
he knows
the
the
spacing.
calculation, 100%.
The spacing.
All right, now with that utility down. Whoa,
Oh.
look.
Now the Iron Hook connects, and now it's the burst down. CW just takes him out of the map instantly. No counterplay. What was Veldora supposed to do there?
They just bursted down. Caught away by CW. Was that a Renners or a burst damage that was just
Bennett, that was Bennett.
uncalculated? That was Bennett.
Oh no.
So Fnatic Onyx on the driver's seat comfortably. Geek Fam, all they need to do is just reduce, reuse, and recycle. Do the same thing over and over again, rinse and repeat. They have to defend their base.
They just can't keep playing this front-to-back burst-heavy style right here. And Geek Fam, again, this is the main problem. Beloyski can't take the hook and re-engage as well. But Vincent isn't tanky enough. Veldora perhaps, right? Maybe they kind of quote-unquote sacrifice Veldora, then maybe Beloyski can kind of capitalize on the moment. But again, that has to be timed perfectly. And it has already happened once, technically earlier. So Fnatic Onyx, they're definitely looking out for that potential outplay coming in from the side of Geek Fam, but here's the conceal.
A big desperate play for the side of Geek Fam. The Iron Hook not connecting this time around. Geek Fam, no more conceal. Fnatic Onyx are playing their game. They have a slow push in the bottom lane. Geek Fam, 3 levels down on Vincent against Kyrie. Rez pops in the glorious pathway, gets him to stun over to the back line. They go for the pop in. Oh, Rez very low, still able to survive for a bit. Implosion catching through inside of the real world. Impulsion. Chadera over the free hits, but Kyrie sniping them down slowly but surely. T-Boy finding the play hunt for Kyrie to clean them up. And now it's Veldora all alone, trying to run, trying to fight. Flickers forward, gets the demonic force, goes in for the pursuit, but Sans just sidesteps, terrifies, and blasts him to the ground.
Kyrie, the Sky Prince, again hoists the crown. And this time he is 10-0, legendary, almost a maniac, stolen by Sans. But it's all good and dandy because he has the Lord and he's able to get 3 kills to his name.
It's a great play by Geek Fam there to start things off, getting the pick up onto Rez, isolating someone, finally getting a chance to get a bit of a head start in the fight. But afterwards, after using so many utilities again to try and get the initial success, they kept pushing their advantage, and that's where Kyrie was waiting in the wings, waiting for the right moment to strike. Again, 10k gold down. Geek Fam, I think they still have enough damage to kind of clear well, but if Fnatic Onyx attempts a play, disrupts the clearing, once the Lord comes through into the base for Geek Fam, this could still be an end angle for Fnatic Onyx.
Yeah, they're looking for a tri-lane push. The Lord will march into the mid turret. And this time, Geek Fam, how long can they defend this?
Well, they're defending in the side lanes. Mid lane open, Beloyski trying to go for the concealed play, but will not be able to find an angle. So Fnatic Onyx will just take it slow. Now they'll have 4 waves to play with, and they've already dealt with the entire wave that was in Geek Fam's base.
Well, take a look at Beloyski, right? He pops the conceal, looks for a play, maybe a flicker, implosion, but it's always cancelled because the zoning is so insane. Sans can just, pop the Deathly Grasp, and then Beloyski will go spinning around like a dead ball, and the RWM popped up. Oh, the hook!
Beloyski gonna be locked down by the Bloody Hunt, actually cancelled by Chadera with the entropy there. T-Boy now forced to respect this. Geek Fam have damage now. Chadera has hit some of those power spikes, though he is still a glass cannon. A glass cannon can still hurt very much.
And look at that Heptasis built in by CW. I thought the burst was dangerous earlier. It's gonna be even more now. Geek Fam going for the defense yet again. Fnatic Onyx, they really want to get this final base turret.
Oh, Veldora catches him this time with the implosion! CW caught off guard! Void Blast to take him down! Again, Geek Fam always able to find these moments in a base defense.
I'm surprised that all the resources burned by Geek Fam there to secure that kill on the CW. Fnatic Onyx just weren't in position. They didn't even consider that it was a possibility right there, and that really costed them. CW done for 20 seconds right here. Not a lot of time, but that is time valuable time that can be used by Geekdom to push out of the base to try and get some more farm in the hands of Chidera. Finally, taking a look at the items, it's already almost a full item. Chidera, oh no!
No, Chidera, not like this! Entropy forward, the glass cannon gets cooked. Vincent will fall to Kyrie. One big play to take them back in the game. One big play to take them out of the game. Fnatic Onyx have gotten 3 of the Geek Fam members.
Could that be the game-ending blunder by Shadera? Entropy's forward, and Keyboy was on point with the Iron Hook, with the Bloody Hunt, and now they look to march into the Crystal. Geek Fam, this is so costly!
Great sidestep from a boy. Beloyski tanking up all the hits, dodging with Brenner's apathy as Keyboy will be slowed down and taken out by a boy. A lot of great poke from a boy now. He doesn't have the real world ablation. They've defended 2v5. Well played, a boy and Beloy, the 2 pillars of Geek Fam, keeping them alive.
Man, that was a risky situation, man. You saw that Keyboy understood how realistic that defense was for Geek Fam. He tried to go for a flicker play to catch him off guard. If he landed it, that would have been the end for Geek Fam. Wow. But that is not the story that we're having today, man. Fnatic Onyx pull back away, they get the Lord, and once again, what is going on, dude? Rinse and repeat. This is now Geek Fam in the base defense, and they have all the battle spells up. They're trying to move forward.
We have Beloyski, implosion from Beloyski into the real world manipulation. Leave it to BBB to leave everybody surprised.
The war crime general commits his sins again. That single implosion that might just equalize and stabilize this game. This is Fnatic Onyx's game to win, and now it's their game to lose. How?
Now the gold is down to 8k, and look at this, with the death timers, they aren't long, but again, these are windows of time that Geek Fam can use to try and get something. But no, they're playing it safe. They're backing away, lest they run into Kyrie and get punished for it. No base turrets, actually 1 base turret left on top there of Veldora, desperately hanging on to it. Now it's a rinse and repeat, man. But again, the late game composition, the late game power that Geek Fam were relying on has arrived. Even the Wind of Nature here, I believe, replacing the boots of Chidera, is going to have solutions for the dive coming in, or even the Bennett attempt coming in from CW. Geek Fam with the Yeve advantage, with the Hycon advantage, they have to play it precisely here. And of course, a huge amount of pressure is on the roamers, man. If Beloyski can find the plays again, that can set everything up for Geek Fam. But if Keyboy can land that devastating Iron Hook, that could be the final hook of the game for Fnatic Onyx as well.
Now the priority changes, right? Because you want to avoid, or rather take down Beloyski as soon as possible. Because that implosion is such a looming threat. Always going to jeopardize Fnatic Onyx's position and formation. And so far, if you talk about the compositions, Geek Fam, they have strong defense. Because that RWM is always going to be ready when the base is under threat, and Chidera. Even though that a few blunders has been committed, but that late game power is just so insane.
It's just so good right now. And you can see the adjustment as well. You're seeing moments where Beloyski gets engaged on, but Chidera cancels that engage, and vice versa. You know, Beloyski gets caught, Vincent going in. So this team is actually working really well with each other. It's just the nature of this composition of Fnatic Onyx kind of doesn't allow them to really work together every single time, right? They have to really fight for windows of opportunity where they're actually able to group up as 5 and get that reliable fight that they desperately need.
And now it's, of course, a game of momentum, a game of inches for both teams. For Beloyski, it's insane momentum, swift, but now Keyboy gets caught.
2-man, 3-man into Ricardo. Rest of the door is pathway, trying to go for the zone. Beloyski traded in. Chunk real low, the real world ablation forced up, but Kyrie goes into the back line. Chidera doing some damage, Kyrie to be chased out by Chidera. Goes for the flicker forward, but will not be able to find the last shot as Kyrie bought the immortality in time. No members dying in that skirmish.
Stalemate, both teams. And again, just dancing on the edge of a thin knife. And if the Lord is able to be taken away, Kyrie with the lifesteal, this will be again another brawl in our eyes.
CCW just cleared the wave on the bottom side though, but not only a little bit. We have to see where that wave ends up bouncing towards, but look at Rez.
Walking up, trying to soak in some damage. Beloyski shoving away, trying to dodge away from that 2-3-man eternal guard again. Kyrie to cop the spear above defensively. Beloyski going to lose out on a lot of HP, but will still be able to survive. Sans caught, has a purified Veldora with a flicker forward with a cloud bot. Immortality from Sans in front of Pursuit, chasing him down. Veldora has immortality as well. As now Veldora survives with just a sliver of HP, keeps his immortality intact. And again, no one has died, no one has fallen.
No victims! And how did Veldora and Beloyski cheat death? They escaped with 1 HP, a sliver of life in their very own souls. Now the Lord again restarted by Fnatic on Geek Fam. Will they respond? Beloyski with the conceal.
No bloody high explosion from Beloyski. Only onto 2, but there's no follow-up. Vincent going for the aggressive play, but Fnatic on it got the Lord. You can win the war, but we'll win the battle through that.
Man, everything used up right here, but Fnatic Onic finally gets the Lord. And look at Kyrie swiping out some items here. So rapid boots there for him, actually showing off CW as well. They're trying to barrel through to try and catch up with the Lord. They don't want to let Deep and cleared without a fight.
No ultimate on Beloyski. No implosion to play with. But still, that is a late game Natan. Lord, what Lord? Veldora chunking Keyboy, good poke from a boy, and they've dealt with yet another Lord.
Wow, that's not a Lord, that's a peasant. Just being shredded away by the powers of the almighty late game Natan. And Kyrie trying to switch away his retributions. If I am not mistaken there, by Fnatic Onic now. How does the geography of this game now pan out?
It's the same idea. Fnatic Onic have the macro advantage. They're the ones now looking for one big moment. Before it was Beloyski. Now, Geek Fam, as long as they don't make massive blunders, as long as a boy and Chidera don't fall without any costly investments coming in for Fnatic Onic, they stand to win everything. We saw earlier, everything played out ideally for Fnatic Onic. Kyrie even got the flank off, got right next up close and personal to a boy, and Geek Fam said, we'll take that. We have the coordination to ensure that the moment anyone flanks, we saw Veldora, we saw Vincent, everyone kind of turns their focus almost immediately. This is a team that's completely in sync. Fnatic Onic, they have to bank on getting a fight outside of the base or just getting a Lord that's just late enough. It's gonna allow them to really barrel through.
But the problem is Geek Fam, they're steadfast. They don't want to go out of the base. They're gluing themselves into the crystal, guarding it for their dear life. The magic damage so far from Geek Fam is just way too nasty. Take a look at the Twilight purchase from Keyboy. They need a lot of magic defense.
Beloyski was able to flick around to the iron hook, but he pulled in the implosion for the mini waves. Rez brought into the real world ablation. Keyboy chunked very low. Veldora walking up as well as Vincent takes a bit of damage, but that's the Suyo damage that is no longer as crazy as it was when we saw Kyrie 7-0.
No more burst damage.
Kyrie definitely still has the execute. Look at the gold advantage, by the way, 8,500. Hello?
But they're full items, right? So at this point, when it comes to item value,
crazy.
It is ridiculous. I think this is the highest amount that we've seen, the highest amount of individual gold lead. I think usually we see 5, 6, 8,700 is redonkulous, as people would say.
And look at CW, man. He's also transitioned more to a DPS build. The burst damage was great. It was so useful for his team, but at this point, he knows with the way the game is going, he's not really allowed to get those easy pickups. He needs to match Shidera's damage output. And that's exactly what he's trying to do. The Lord, though, it can get shredded fast by Fnatic Onic.
I don't know how fast you can take it, though, because this is a 24-minute Lord. Oh! But his immortality still intact for him. Beloyski will lose immortality as Rez gets dealt with by the entropy. Beloyski loses his life as a winner crown. Bought by Rez, buying a little more time, but he will be shredded down by Chidera, the entropy. Oh! A winner crown this time around as he buys immortality for Vincent Sans, getting the Terrify. But there is no more. No more they can do to force this. Geek Fam, they've lost Beloyski. Fnatic Onic, they've lost Rez.
That was a very good pick-off.
The Engager traded for the frontline, though. In a sense,
Suyo
he can push them away.
Chidera goes in. That's the entropy forward. Over the Lord. Suyo was in the bottom lane. Can they blitz it fast enough? Again, this is a 25-minute Lord. You can't blitz nothing. You can only get it to half.
Not even with the Natan power with Chidera there. He's constantly giving the DPS. It was the backbone. That was Beloyski, and now the backbone is Chidera. It's insane how much damage he can deal in this time of the game. And Fnatic Onic, they're juggling on their choices whether or not they want to commit this, but they're not going to. Just trying to usher the Lord. Juggle it out. Don't commit anything.
Kyrie, though, has done the damage on the bottom side. The wave is pushing in favor of Fnatic Onic. Now Geek Fam will be forced to respawn sooner or later. I think sooner will be better. Now that they still have some control, some semblance of information in the Lord Pit. Vincent, though, is still in a very precarious spot. You can see the respect there onto the Iron Hook. It's been devastating the whole time.
Man, this time Fnatic Onic have the advantage. They have a slow push earlier in the bottom lane, but Loyski with the conceal already used up. Iron Hook dodge away from the real ablation now. Towards the Lord, it's gonna be a 50-50. It's gonna be Kyrie who wins it out. But Loyski with the jump back. It's gonna be Rez brought back into the team. Vincent taken down. Geek Fam will get one, but it's a 1-for-1 again. It's a jungle for Rez.
Insanity! Thankfully, Kyrie gets the retribution. That Beloyski implosion was always going to be insane. But the Lord still in the hands of Fnatic Onic now, and then the question, are they able to fight their way inside the base, that fortress that Geek Fam are able to build?
Can they fight their way without a frontliner? Kibo has to be the main frontline right here. Kyrie can't do it either. And look at Beloyski. What is he doing?
What is he doing? Big brain Beloyski. The War Crime General, Chidera, spacing away from the Eternal Guard. Veldoro coming in, and Sans might just be compromised, but Beloyski has his sights set on TW. The Bloody Hunt and the Balance Rage over to Beloyski. Kyrie hitting onto the base right now with the Lord being there. Kyrie with the blink backwards as well. The minute wave's not going to be there. Fnatic Onic, they made the wrong decision. Keyboy's immortality has been top. Geek Fam against all odds have wiped the Sky Kings out.
Divine intervention in Bandung, not for the Sky Kings, but for the Geek Fam players. They're able to hold the minions nowhere to be seen. And Fnatic Onic, they fail to end the game. It was Kyrie constantly hitting, and they might look for something. Geek Fam, they're on the pounce.
What do you do if you're Rez? Do you try to go for the push up top with a wave? I don't think you can. Vincent's dealt with it. Rez, he tried to go for that angle, but Geek Fam will go into the mid lane.
Death
That's a tier 2 taken down. 30 seconds on the death timers. The defending 4-peat champions up against Geek Fam. Beloyski with the implosion, the real world appellation, everything in the kitchen sink thrown at the horse, thrown at Rez. Chadera is godlike, so is Geek Fam. The sky will not collapse, but Geek Fam can pull the Sky Kings down. That's for sure. 2-1 on the brink of elimination.
Vulnerably, so much happening in that game. Fnatic Onic, they have never been so vulnerable before. But Geek Fam, they pull it out, that last minute defense. Fnatic Onic now on the brink of elimination. Just one more game. Geek Fam, 2-1.
When you play with margins so razor thin, you gotta be careful not to cut yourself. Fnatic Onic, slivers of HP away from denying, from taking that crystal away from Geek Fam. But they were able to do it. The rock solid defense of Geek Fam, man.
Once, right?
Facilitator.
Yeah, facilitator.
And there you go.
Aurora and Joe.
Oh man, Chidera has a lot of option here. You can go for a no, it's not. It's gotta be a Moskov actually. So it's for sure going to be a Purify on Chidera, knowing that there's just way too much CC in front of them. But so far, Chidera on the Moskov, I believe, is still sitting at a 0% win rate in this series, I believe. Right?
Yeah, he has not won on the Moskov.
And there's some weird miscalculations that Chidera made, and I'm sure it's gonna show that he's improved over that game. He knows what to do. He knows where the line is, and he's not gonna go over it.
Final thoughts, Coleus? Match points?
No.
That's it? Plain and simple, Fnock? Do you want to elaborate?
Nope.
All right. Fnock for Sheffin as well. Again, back to back.
What?
So now we're going to throw it over to the casters. Realize, take it away.
5 seconds till the
Fnatic
end.
Onic, their hands trembling, their empire under siege. Could the conquest be pulled off by Geek Fam? Will we finally see a new champion after 4 seasons? Will this be the end? The Sky Kings.
Man, history in the making right here, right now. Match point for Geek Fam. Both teams having a great deal of potential here. We have the control mages, we have the frontliners. man, the Garot Kacha finally making an appearance right here in the hands of Veldora. No Phobius. Garot Kacha is his pick. Running the Vengeance, not the Revitalize. And with 2 Purifiers to respect the Tigreal, and for ByteDance not having any defensive spells, just flickers all across the board. Definitely a risky proposition. Looking at the emblems by IndieHome here, tenacity for both front lines of Geek Fam, the Hylas and the Garot Kacha. And in the gold lane, that's the Master Assassin for Chidera, going up against the weapon mastery for CW. So it's once again a bit to the late game for Fnatic Onic. We've seen how that plays out, man. It's going to be a dangerous game.
What's your projection on the top side on the XP lane? Who really wins the team fight, or will it much more be a prio or rotational type of play for the XP laner?
I personally prefer the Gatot in general over the Cho. More crowd control, more survivability, a better macro attempt.
Less execution needed.
Exactly,
That's true, easier.
But you also do a lot more things independently, right? You can kind of have your own crowd control tool, you can do damage, you can kind of regen with your passive, and of course that macro presence.
Yeah.
With Geek Fam having the Spear of Destruction and the Avatar of the Guardian, Fnatic Onic are always second guessing, always thinking that that could be a possibility.
Yeah, global presence. It's the name of the game for Geek Fam. They have both of that already. And now the turtle respawns. Of course, Geek Fam, they are quick to respond, but Fnatic Onic, they have 4 members corralling this site.
That's a Jikudo on the way to drag it into the Frigid Glacier. Revitalize, trying to save him there, but it's not going to be enough. Vincent taken down. Now it's a freeze over to Veldora. Do some damage back to Rez. While walk in again with the Jikudo. Finding Beloyski. A 2-kill lead for Fnatic Onic as we get into the game. 2 minutes in, this will be free. The turtle for Fnatic Onic.
It was an interesting situation there. Geek Fam with Vincent so far up, taking the brunt of all the crowd control. In theory, right, they have a lot of frontliners that can kind of pressure away using Beloyski on the Hylas, Veldora on the Gatot, who got level 4 by rotating to the mid lane there. But no, the Avatar of the Guardian wasn't even used. So that was an interesting development, but look at this, CW!
Yeah, showing him that it's the Beatrix, not you, that solo killed me.
Bottom side becomes even much more spicier. Chidera has been able to dominate CW in the past 2 games. I feel like it has been very hard for him. Now, of course, they're going in 1v1.
Oh! It's the Beatrix CW! Trading into the Wesker as he shot the Bennett's Rage. Wow, the creativity of just the decision to go for Wesker.
Wow, he just knew. He just got a read on Chidera and how he was supposed to play there. Man, I wonder if he actually got grazed by the Bennett's Rage as well. Wow. Look at the hero combo here. This was standing at 100%, I believe. Now it's 1 loss. The Suyo and Beatrix was completed by the Hylas as well in the first 2 games. Now it's a different composition, a different combination that Fnatic Onic want to have. With Keyboy, an equally impressive playmaker, matching up to Beloyski that's now on the front line. It's definitely an interesting game unfolding before our eyes.
And of course, bottom side Chidera has to play a bit more safe. He has to even run the Purify because of the humongous amount of CC coming in from Fnatic Onic. They have so much control as well. But the Geek Fam, what are they eyeing on? What are the timers, Arashi?
With Geek Fam, they gotta wait for, I think, either power spikes for Vincent, for sure. And along with that, I think Veldora. If Veldora can get tanky enough and actually, again, do the hybrid job of taking damage and dealing damage, they can really swing the fight in favor of Geek Fam, especially if he gets face-to-face against Kyrie. But look at this, oof. The Tigreal and the Cho running at you, that is a terrifying sight.
Very, very terrifying. You can see the hand cam of Kyrie, obviously, here on the Suyo. Turtle started. Keyboy able to go for the shove into the Frigid Glacier. Nothing you can do, Veldora, not even on a Gatot Kacha. I don't know, man. The Vengeance, is it really the answer to this burst comp over the Revitalize, Arashi? Kyrie, 2 free turtles. Moskov getting a bit of hits over to the turret up top.
I think he popped the Vengeance quite late there as well. In theory, right? If you can't really get, if you're stun locked so far, you can't even use, you can't even hit using your passive, then the Vengeance makes sense. But he hasn't really been using it well. Regardless, the Beloyski though with the zoning glorious pathway, I'm kind of feeling this Hylas pick a lot.
Yeah, just trying to zone out TW up top, but now he will go hand in hand with Keyboy.
Uh-oh, Vincent again picked off, and it's as easy as that to pick Vincent off on the Alpha when you have a Cho and Aurora. That's why the Cho is so important.
Oof, look at that, Cho is going around behind, but look at this, Beloyski caught out of position. Implosion solo. Wait.
And the Frigid Glacier, that's the lockdown. The Bennett's Rage 2! The pick-off comp, man! When you have a single target lockdown, and then Bennett, and then Aurora, that's it, right there.
Yeah, they have so much control, but they're not committing into full 5v5 fights. They're mostly just slicing it into two, just trying to get a pick off. One was with Dragon by Rez, and then Keyboy committing the implosion. No, Geek Fam, like, in disarray.
I mean, man, these pickups are kind of unfair. It's not like Geek Fam is kind of losing 1v1. It's always like a 3v1 for the members of Geek Fam, so technically there's still a chance for them to kind of come out on top here. But oh, Avatar doesn't land.
No, Sans flickers out of it, safe.
That's where we were looking for, right? We wanted to see the Avatar of the Guardian being used to its full potential, but instead, look at this.
Yeah.
With only a flicker, Fnatic Onyx were able to get the second turret at 6 minutes. That's a very early turret.
Yeah, the Sky Kings are mad. They want to end the game as soon as possible. Look at how wrathful they are. The Keyboy hiding in the bush. Has been a quite hard game, last game for him. Not much of a Keyboy moment as we know him to be. As Geek Fam, at least this time around, they want to corral and control the turtle. Fnatic Onyx, they want to grasp it. 5 fingers, both hands.
Keyboy dangerously all the way in the front, but look at this.
You see the zoning from Rez and Keyboy. Alpha's very, very vulnerable. This kind of position, Vincent not going to go for the Spear of Alpha just yet. That's explosion, lock them down, and away the Dragon from Rez to bring him in again. The Avatar of the Guardian defensively, Kyrie with a stun over to Beloyski. He will be able to escape. Veldora does too, but again, Vincent has been taken down. CW! Oh, almost went for the snipe. Almost took Beloyski down.
Ooh. Boy's trying to defend, but that mid tower will fall. Great value for Fnatic Onyx. They have the superior rotations. Rez on the Cho, man. Despite the Catcher having the global presence, you see Veldora really struggled to match his impact. He's been all across the map again and again, and Veldora, I don't know, he's just losing out in effectiveness. That's not what we were expecting with this Catcher pick.
Veldora has been bullied most of the times. He's not able to sustain until the end of the team fight. Mostly defensive avatars. And so far, Rez looking to again engage forward. They have so much control. And that stuns the AoEs. It's all just putting Geek Fam in check. They can't advance further. Fnatic Onyx, they have the defensive line being built so far.
And with the turrets all secured from Fnatic Onyx, already 4 turrets at 8 minutes, usually you can see Chidera maybe push a bit further, but because Geek Fam can't really go outwards without leaving the security of their own structures, this means that Chidera is also limited in how far it can push up due to the lack of information. They have no idea where Fnatic Onyx is at all times, and it's allowing them to go for angles like this. It's weird flanks, Rez.
Very scary. Glorious pathway by Beloyski.
Guard into the back, CW with the flicker backwards. Sans, Frigid Glacier catching 2! No initiation, Veldora's buying a lot of time. Vincent goes in for the Spear of Alpha and will be able to get the kill now, but Veldora has been isolated, gunned down by CW, who's on a killing spree. Rez with the shampoo, gonna be started down as well. Kai from the side getting a boy, and Rez surviving, and SOD tanked by CW to stop Rez from getting picked off.
Again, the Sky Kings, they raise their fortress stall. Not even Beloyski might be able to enter. And Fnatic Onyx 9-1, a dominant game. Geek Fam again reminded on how immortal, how crazy the Sky Kings are.
This is a crazy pace that Fnatic Onyx is pushing onto Geek Fam, man. Every single time there's any kind of resemblance of a fight, it's just going so well. And the Aurora pick is really paying dividends for Fnatic Onyx, dude. Every single time there was a big attempt, the Frigid Glacier just zones the whole rest of the team so that Geek Fam can't really move together as a unit. Fnatic Onyx capitalizing on the fact that Geek Fam operates in unity, right? Systematically as 5, never really kind of segmenting themselves into smaller teams in these fights.
They're able to get the Storm as well, or control again so much so for the Fnatic Onyx. Geek Fam, this time their tier 2 turret under siege!
Wow! Finds an implosion into the Frigid Glacier! On the brink of elimination, the man picks Tigreal. Kyrie with the stun, a boy low Rez goes with the Ikundo and the way of the Dragon. Chidera spears him down, but he's lost 4 members.
The Guardian of the Sky Kings, the Guardian of the Empire of the Sky Kings again showing what he is made of. Divine, he is so smooth, so sweet.
It's a wipeout to take us to Game 5. Shaken but not broken.
Game 5 on the cards, and the Sky Kings, relentless. Their empire still defended. They will not go down without a fight.
2-2 for Fnatic Onyx, as if trying to dispel the doubts of everyone, including us on the desk. Everyone looking and hoping for a new era right now. Fnatic Onyx says no, you must have forgotten who you're talking about. The Sky Kings with a dominant performance there, completely demolishing GeekFam. If GeekFam want to play that late game and they are content letting go of that early game, Fnatic Onyx will just double down and come in with even more aggression. Wow, man.
The others as well, but it's going to be the Tigreal. Still the same problem for the last 2 games. This hero is the game-winning heroes for the most part. Completely changed the tide
I agree.
and giving them momentum.
Geek has a really good
Composition.
for team fight, right? And we've seen loopholes being made in these kind of team fight compositions, as where you have a composition that can split people up or try to utilize the macro game to your favor. Fnatic Onyx have the Beatrix. Sure, the Franco and the Kaja are gone, but technically the Cho is also still available here.
Or rest using the Barats. Just gotta use it, and maybe Kiboy Kadita, because Kadita is the counter of Eve if he wants to. But yeah, no more tanking heroes. But Cho and Khalid. So it's supposed to be Kiboy Cho, Khalid by Ras.
There's still a chance, I guess. No, it's still Kiboy Cho, I think. As we're taking a look at that.
Wait! We're gonna see Cho Keyboy?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. If there's any Cho player other than Young that I know and that we love, it's Keyboy, man. Keyboy back on his signature hero.
How
But
he played
against
the Cho.
Beloyski Tigreal. Let's talk about that real quick. Shefin, let's start with you.
Give them all the way. Should I deep dive to it or like prediction?
Just prediction is fine.
Oh, okay.
Coleus?
For me, I'm afraid to say this, but the king will fall.
The king will fall. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, going to throw it over to the casters. Take it away.
5 seconds till the enemy reaches
In the
battle.
precipice of fate,
Smash them.
both of these teams stand. 1 having to beat their nightmares. 2
Welcome
wanting
to Mobile Legends.
to hold their empire together. Fnatic Onyx, Geek Fam, game number 5.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the land of dawn. All of us here on the desk expected a 5-game series, and we've got that. Arashi, what do you think of the picks, man?
I feel like GeekFam has a lot of potential, and the mid-game, the mid-trio prio here, I feel like GeekFam has a more of a say in how the game goes in this particular game compared to the last game, right? The Tigreal, the Yve, and the Nolan definitely is terrifying. We've seen that against the Faramis, it can be hard to maintain the lane prio, especially with the Cho running around. But when it comes to the damage and kill pressure, I feel like GeekFam has a lot more to say. Yve ready with the Rupture and the Wilderness Blessing. It's all about roaming again, around and around.
Keyboy on a signature pick, already being forced to flicker early.
Oof. Great aggression coming in from GeekFam. They know they have the spammable tools in the early game to kind of out-trade the members of Fnatic Onyx. So they're going to abuse it. And even in the top side here, CW giving a lot of respect to the potential playmaking tools on the side of GeekFam. But you have to keep an eye out on the junglers. That's where a lot of this early game is going to rely on, right? Both kind of clearing fast, but the Nolan has always been a more consistent, fast clearer with a lot of mobility. And so far, it's really level 4. Kyrie now finally catching up, but maybe Vincent can get a level advantage before the next turtle spawns in the Lanadon.
These Keyboys are present to sniff out and mirror the movements of Vincent, just screen him away from the team fights and the skirmishes happening. Turtle's gonna spawn soon. Keyboy again looking for that angle. He's always his Cho that is not as flashy as other Chos, but he's there just to zone out the players of GeekFam or his enemies, and that always works in such an efficient way. But now Vincent comes in.
Oh, Fracture, Sans very low. Beloyski walking up the regen, already popped in by Sans. Kyrie going for the immortal form. And it does seem like GeekFam will be able to take control over the turtle pit. Fnatic Onyx will respect it. Rez occupying the bush. Jumping on the Veloisky with some damage. Raging Sandstorm to 3 from Rez. Veldora pops Revitalize. Boy going for some damage. Will be able to pick that guy off. A boy has the RWM now. Oh, a boy pops in the RWM in time. Rez going for the regen. It's going to help him against Vincent, but he does get the job done against the boy. Now it's a 2v2 in the mid lane. Kyrie has a stun, but Vincent is going to be locked down on the stuns. He has to respect this guy. Winning it out for Fnatic Onic.
Again, the Sky Prince, he stands tall, looks at Vincent right in the eye, and gets another kill. And Fnatic Onic win out on this early skirmish.
Ooh, this is great for Veloisky right here.
Way the dragon onto the Wesker. CW with a shotgun.
Man, that was a big factor there in the previous fight. Veloisky is not level 4, still isn't. Vincent tries his best to go into the jungle, but the Cho presence, man. Keyboy was doing the bulk of the damage to a boy in that fight. That's a roamer zoning out the mid laner. Definitely right up Keyboy's alley, but look at this. Pressuring the orange. Won't be able to get it though.
It's always a treat watching Keyboy with Cho. He's always moving away, zoning out the players of Geek Fam. He's so brave and he's just so confident, the Cho.
Oh, we're gonna try and punish Rez right here. Rez has cut the wave though, so Veldora is missing out on a ton of EXP. Getting a lot of time here.
Yeah, it's just roaming around and they lay claim on the jungle control. Vincent, on pressure, will be able to escape and he'll be able to go out unscathed.
Right, man, it's all about keeping a boy safe in this early game. The mages are just so critical. And look at Keyboy, man. It's just so slippery to try and catch a Cho of all things.
Yeah.
And Chidera actually getting a good deal of farm from the mid lane too. Geek Fam definitely understand the importance of letting Chidera get a lot of gold, get rolling as fast as possible. He is one of the main win conditions. And now with the early power spikes here, Thunder Belt for Rez, the cooldown boots for Kyrie as well, allowing him more mobility. Go, Veloisky.
Way the dragon penetrates coming down as well. Veloisky, before he can even pop the implosion, Vincent unable to get the burst on Sans. And he gets assassinated instead. Raging Sandstorm by Rez. A questionable one at that, but it is going to drone Chidera away from this minion wave. And it's a big minion wave that Chidera is going to miss.
Oh boy, Vincent keeps going in after the fight has concluded to try and salvage, to try and get something. But he's not snowballing, man. He had 2 kills, now he's 2 and 2. He's got to wait and wait for the right moment there. Or just keep farming. Right farm is one of the main strengths of the Nolan, and Kyrie is level 8 right now. 2 kills, but been a lot more reliable in his decision making. Let's take a look at the replay here. Presented by our two-man smartphone, the Samsung Galaxy S24 FE. Veloisky, the main engage tool, gets engaged on. Doesn't even have time to pop the implosion, and still Vincent goes in there. 1v3 technically. Gotta stop doing that, man.
Yeah, that was so clean from Keyboy. Good target selection as well. Rez 1v1 with Vincent, but it's not going to be enough.
Oh man,
Vincent still so mobile, but look at Rez. He's just winning out on this lane, cutting away Veldora. Kyrie in the bush. Veloy might look for something.
Should be a kill onto Rez. Oh, he got the stun. Oh! Rez with a fleet footwork. The man who has died so many times in the first few games, now in the Khalid. It seems like he's just unkillable, though he died once.
Now you see him, now you don't. The rookie that was so doubted by a lot of Fnatic Onic fans shows what he can do in the playoff stage, no less.
Gonna be a trade by Geek Fam here to get the bottom side turret. Then Atan already with the Feather of Heaven, but on the other side it's going to be a BOD already ready for CW. So now Fnatic Onic has a lot more burst potential. Geek Fam have to play it safe.
Oh man, concussive blast damage from Rez over to Chidera, taking him to half HP. My G!
Keyboy, man. So sleek, so sly on the Cho. He's uncatchable. And Kyrie now, he's gonna control that topside jungle. It's Vincent and Geek Fam as a whole. They want to group up. Is this how they want to play?
For Geek Fam, definitely looking for some kind of combo here, some kind of long drawn-out fight. Fnatic Onic, they're playing for those moments, right? The Way of the Dragon, Raging Sandstorm into a big combo, and then they back out. And to amplify that, they have the Netherrealm as well to just cut off any play. But look at this.
Keyboy again with the Way of the Dragon. Now Raging Sandstorm from Rez. The Managed Rage gets rid of 2 of the frontliners like they are nothing. Veloisky, Veldora down again. Fnatic Onic will get a free turtle. 3 turtles, a 5,000 gold. CW with a sniper, boy! Flickering out for Rez is right there to catch up the scraps. Vincent looking for some damage, but you cannot out-damage this complete crazy sustain of a Khalid.
And again, the Sky Kings, they initiate onto Beloyski. They make the war crime general pay for his sins. Conceal popped up, but no follow-up whatsoever.
See the desperation in Beloyski, man. He's been getting jumped on. He's been wanting to jump on someone, but Sans...
Should be taken out. Vincent finally gets that assassination, but Sans respawns instantly, has the passive fully stacked up.
All right, small win for Geek Fam, but again, you can see that Beloyski desperately wants to be the one to make some of these plays happen, but Keyboy, with the superior mobility, is finding it so much easier to go for a fight. But look at this. Look at that. Even walking into an ambush, he just slides out.
Shunpu, man, that anti-CC perfectly timed by Keyboy.
Martial artist at best. So we have Dragon. It's of course going to be a very important tool for Keyboy. It's number 1 to pick off enemies, but number 2, he functions as the zone out tool for Fnatic on to just screen away, open up spaces in the maps, and open up the bushes as well. Now conceal play, they look for something again.
Oh man, solo implosion onto Keyboy. Keyboy says, oh, I'll go for it. Great flicker from Beloyski. Now the glorious pathway by Beldora. This should be the punish on Keyboy, but it still is able to get out with the Shunpu. Real world with the Nether Realm to turn it around. Beldora will be dragged down towards the members of Fnatic Onic. And again, it is 2-0 to Fnatic Onic.
Geek Fam can't catch a break, man. Even there, when it seemed like they were committing, they were using everything to try and make sure that Keyboy pays for his sins. It can't be done. Vincent 1v1.
No, this is not a 1v1, this is a 2v1. Sans walks up too. That's unfair, man.
Raz his way to tanky. And he will be even more tanky. I mean, there's no way Vincent will be able to one-shot Rez with the sustainability he has and the tankiness that he has as well. This is just going to get worse for Rez, but Veldora comes up the glorious pathway at Keyboy.
Walks up to, baits out the implosion! Raging Sandstorm onto 3! No follow-up there, but it certainly did look cool. They baited out the Purify too, so it was still a big move. Chidera's going to be down for such a long time. CW almost threaded the needle there with a Renner apathy hit. I don't think Geek Fam can even walk into the vicinity of this door. This is another free objective for the Sky Kings.
No ulti.
Oh man, Fnatic Onic now. You can see that the frontlanders are completing their radiant armors. Veldora.
Anyone at this point, right? Even Veldora, that's a tank. That's the man you should never go for, usually. But to Keyboy, he's like, nah, it's all good, man.
They don't give a damn. The Sky Kings do what the Sky Kings want. You want to kick back a tanker? Oh, 1v1?
Vincent in the 1v1 against Kyrie. The fracture defensively. They're walking him down. They're Storm. And Kyrie will just cut him to pieces.
Everything Geek Fam is trying out has been shut down, man. The split push shut down. The team fight shut down. The surprise engages. Keyboy has Beloyski's number, man. Geek Fam has to kind of get some more coordination between Beloyski and Veldora. You're seeing that when Keyboy goes for a pickup on one of them. Oh man!
My god, Keyboy, you mad lad! The instincts of Keyboy.
This is way too good. Again, when Keyboy makes a play on someone, there is no follow-up, there is no counter-engage. In theory, if you're pouring all the damage onto Veldora, then Beloyski should be able to find something, right? But it just hasn't been happening. 9k gold advantage at 11 minutes. Definitely a tough situation, but again, Geek Fam do have the late game, they have a strong front line, and they have a lot of high ground range. But the members of Fnatic Onic are itemizing heavily for that magical damage. They know that if they keep this into a siege situation, Vincent has nothing to do. He has no role to play in this defense.
Yeah. It feels like a replay of game number 4. This time around, they have Chidera to bank on, but it's going to be a long way to push it down to the late game. And I don't think Fnatic Onic will slack one more time to let that chance to win go to waste. And Geek Fam, they crumble to pieces, but now they group up as 5 in this jungle. Fnatic Onic, they don't want to be as curious. And Rez will just open up the map, open up the bush. Vincent looks for a burst, but Rez is way too tanky.
But notice the burst, I mean the pull coming in from a boy there. It's definitely something that can't be ignored, but conceal.
I don't know about this, they go for Kyrie, but he just blinks out to safety. No conceal for Geek Fam already. The desperate play, not even available for them. Keyboy! Again with Raider Dragon. What a finding! Get a Beloyski with the implosion, but Rez gets a Raging Sandstorm. Sanj drags Veldora back. The RWM is dealing no damage to Fnatic Onyx. They're tanking it like it's nothing.
Man, now finally we see a Holy Crystal for Chidera, but look at the damage difference, man. That was predominantly CW. I mean, a boy still did a healthy amount of damage, but man, they gotta wait a long time before this happened. Oh, Chidera!
Oh, the snipe Chidera still able to escape. Rez though from the side. Looking forward, Rez again with a flicker. Finding it, another round, will it be? There in time, no it will not. Kyrie very low, Veldora looking for the stun. Will be able to get the stun, but Veldora gets gunned down. CW is godlike in game number 5.
Man, Fnatic Onyx just getting everything they can here, and Geek Fam, they're getting some good trades in for the most part. It was going kind of well, but Chidera trying to make the risky play, entropying forwards. Vincent 1v1?
No way. Way the dragon. Keyboy versus Vincent. No way. Come on, Keyboy. Give him some respect, man.
You don't want me to know one as a Cho. The Kyrie, he gets the Lord for free. Fnatic Onyx again, smiting down on the Geek Fam players, asserting their dominance again, showing their rule. Sky King Empire still intact, at least for 30 minutes now.
I feel like now it's not really about the damage dealers. We're seeing Chidera have some damage, a boy have some damage as well. Can't be ignored. The front line is way too vulnerable, man. Voloisky is so squishy. He's basically an implosion bot. All he does is go for an implosion. And Veldora, the main front line that should be taking all this aggression, taking all the attention away from Voloisky, same, gets one shot almost immediately. If they can pick up a couple more items right here and buy a bit longer, right? Make sure that CW can't just delete them outright. They have a chance here, but look at that. Ooh.
The damage is nasty. Now Fnatic Onyx then knock on the door, on the proverbial doorsteps of Geek Fam. They take a look at the Lord. There's pathway defensively. Keyboy looks for something.
RWM though, very low. We're also being able to deal with the Lord, and it's kind of deja vu to game number 3. Yeah. When Geek Fam was down by this much too, kind of similar. But with the Yevon and the Tan, they just kept holding their ground.
So it begins. The arduous defense of Geek Fam, the long drawn-out siege of Fnatic Onyx. Once again, the only thing they really have right here as a great equalizer, as a way to really crack open the base, is that Netherrealm. But even then, we've seen what happens when you use a Netherrealm against a team who's turning in the base, against a Yeve and a Natan. So much AoE there might not even be enough, especially with Voloisy's waiting in the wings, no longer being vulnerable to those pickoffs. You can see Fnatic Onyx is trying to farm around, wait for the right moment to try and make something happen, but Geek Fam, funnily enough, this is where they're at their strongest.
Yeah, Sounds just having fun with the recalls. Veldora taunts him back with the glorious pathway. Boy packs him up as well with the poke now. Ooh, Fnatic Onyx, they don't want to repeat the same mistake they did in game number 2. They don't want to really make it hard for themselves, because Geek Fam, they still have the angle to really scale into the late game, especially Chidera with the Natan. But this time Keyboy might look for a pick.
No way. Way to drag it out to Voloisky. Now Sounds walking forward. Voloisky going for the implosion, not hitting anyone, and now will be punished down. The War Crime General might have committed too many war crimes. A big mistake from him. Veldora pops in the glorious pathway as Geek Fam look to get something, anything. The Render's apathy from CW, but Fnatic Onyx, no. What they want isn't a fight. They want the Lord.
The Sky Kings won't let you walk away with a Zin. And the War Crime General gets punished time and time again. 6 deaths. Punishment is imminent for him. Geek Fam again in the shadows of Fnatic Onyx.
Remember though, the 7-death power spike of Voloisky is still very real. Veldora now looking a lot more tanky, healthily being able to tank some damage, but not all the whole team.
Rez in the back zoning everybody with the way to crown as well as he heals all the way up. Meanwhile, Veldora, you can't say the same about him. Not against CW with full item. Oh! Wesker! CW eliminates Vincent!
Blow him away from the water. CW, the marksman, the hitman, and Keyboy is just having fun, toying with his food. Geek Fam, they crumble piece by piece, brick by brick.
Vincent just wasn't expecting that, dude. Walking into a shotgun, double barrel shotgun, just hitting him right in the face. Man, he will be available for the base defense. Again, this is Geekfam's strongest point. Can Onyx find a way? Voloisky missed the engage in the previous fight. If that landed, it could have been a very different fight. Divine Glaive competed for Chidera. No Wind of Nature. Glass Cannon, but with a lot of frontliners to take the heat away from him. Maybe Fnatic Onyx can use the choke, can use the Suyo and dive in. If they can just deny, they can just delete this Natan out of the Land of Dawn, that could be the window they require. And almost a 12k gold lead. This has to be the moment.
Yeah, they have to defend, have to repeat history. And Keyboy with the conceal looks for something.
The Lord already charging down. Base turret number 1 taken down. Top. Fracture over to Keyboy. CW low. But he has the Haas claws. He can sustain as long as he just goes. There we go. One shot. Is almost back to full HP. Voloisky looking for a big play. Chidera! No way. Almost finding the angle to take Sans down. Even when they are down 12,000 gold. You cannot write them off. Not just yet.
Yeah,
Chidera,
dude. This was the guy we said was kind of timid, was kind of nice, you know, but he is consistently going with his forward entropies, trying to make the play, trying to wrestle away the game for Fnatic Onyx.
There's pathway.
Oh, jeez.
Opened up. They would look for more angles, and so far Chidera again. The two times he picked Natan, he has been the kryptonite for Fnatic Onyx. The brick wall that's just delaying them to end the game. And it's insanely good because against Sieges up top, he's able to just defend it, clear the waves pretty easily and pretty fast as well. So, this Natan, how do they deal with this?
I mean, they have to just find a way to get on him, get the damage. Or they have the damage for sure. They just have to land it on the right people, the right person. Oh man, you know, if Chidera picked up the shutdown on CW right there previously, that could have been a very risky situation to be in.
10-0.
Seeing Fnatic Onyx just playing it so patiently. 12k, but it doesn't feel like it. The late game composition in this meta where we were talking about all the early game aggression, the snowball being the most important thing. Geekfam is doing the exact opposite. Wind of Nature now ready for Chidera as well. And boy, even with the Blood Wave, more security. Wow, he's just spamming out that entropy.
It's like a 8-10 second cooldown in the late game, so we can afford to just spam that ultimate. But how do they keep on doing this? Voloisky has landed 0 good ults. Yet that 6 deaths is actually threatening, man.
I'm inclined to believe that there might be a repeat of history. A concealed play. Again, Voloisky, he has the implosion. And Fnatic Onyx, they're well aware of this. They don't want to take the gamble. They want to play it safe. They want to double down on this.
Wait, the wave from the bottom side, looking kind of even right now, but if it shifts in one direction, that could be the exact moment that decides how both teams want to really play around this. Right, Geekfam, there's no question that they have patience. If there's anything they have, it is patience. But Veldora though, whoa!
We're walking up, get a bit of damage, then it's Rage! Oh! Say goodbye to Veldora's HP bar, now it's all on Chidera. Can he do it? Takes res. It's a very low HP, Sans. Stampede! Oh! Real world manipulation of the gun down from Chidera! A big mistake from Sans, but luckily, he has the passive to respawn instantly.
2 seconds is all it takes for him to go back to the battlefield. But what was that movement from Sans? He was punished heavily by Geekfam.
He was trying to poke more than anything, I think it feels like, using the... Oh, Keyboy!
Oh, that damage.
What is that damage?
That's Natan, late game Vincent. Looking for the cleanup, getting the immortality of Keyboy. Chidera looking for some damage as well, but will not be able to find it onto Keyboy. Meanwhile, Rez trying to zone a boy away earlier, getting poked down, half HP. This time it's different. Fnatic Onyx have no base turret, so they don't actually have an advantage to play with when it comes to the macro game. How the heck is this a 10,000 gold lead? It doesn't look like it.
And look at the wave on the bottom side, dude. It is snowballing massively. It's a massive slow push that can take down multiple turrets right here. Fnatic Onyx understands the urgency. Oh boy. This is looking really good for Geekfam. This might be the exact window they need. CW with the EHS. Can I get more DPS? Trying to match the Natan once more in the late game. Even with the map of mastery, it's just not allowing him to do so. But Vincent, he has to be careful. He is one of the prior members right here. He cannot...
Whoa! A mistake from Keyboy. The real will Blazing locks them down! Nether Realm coming down from Sans. That's their second HP bar. Into the fracture. Rez has the immortality. Will lose the immortality. Keyboy with the flank. Now Voloisky through the flicker and the shot that will not connect. But still, it's Geekfam with a team fight win. The tier 2 in the bottom lane taken down by the mini waves that was set up by Geek Fam earlier. It's a big wave, you said it, Arashi. And they're going to have to send Kyrie down there. Geek Fam, they see Kai in the bottom lane on the Suyo. They know Sans doesn't have the Nether Realm. Chidera with the Entropy, Sans the Purify. Whoa. Keyboy very low. Bennett's Rage coming down, Rez trying to look for an angle, but the bottom lane wasn't dealt with completely. It's still building up for Geek Fam to crash onto Fnatic Onyx base turrets.
Yeah, that's the problem. The wave wasn't addressed fully, and now it's bouncing back towards the bottom side turret. Geek Fam, they have the window to really start shredding this Lord, but it resets only for a few seconds. Sans is here, and the duo bottom side coming close. They want to look for an engage, but Keyboy is just punished.
Vincent was able to space out Keyboy. Entropy backwards. Respect from Chidera.
All right,
They have to give up.
Look at the wave bot. Suyo. Kyrie's gonna be sent down again.
can they rush this though? The Lord resets.
Oh, it's game of inches. Just ping-ponging it around. The Lord still not yet to be determined who will be able to lay claim on this. As now, they look for an engage.
Onto Beloyski though. Beloyski has immortality brought back by the Shadow Stampede. Vincent's still looking for an angle to go for the attack. Goes in the track. Rez is gonna lose his life. But so will Beloyski. Kyrie charging up the stun. Won't be able to look for any more initiations. Rez for Beloy.
And again, you have to understand the situation right here. For Fnatic Onyx, Rez is their main frontline. He was the one holding the top side of the Lord Pit on lockdown. Geek Fam now have no engage tools, but they have all the poke they require. They can just send Veldora out to scout out, to zone away, and push Fnatic Onyx away.
It feels like Fnatic Onyx are on their wits' end. They don't know what they're supposed to do. With the pressure up top, down bottom, however now contained. But they focus more on the Lord. This Geek Fam, they look to even charge back. Fnatic Onyx still just toying away with it. Not kick.
Keyboy with Way to Dragon finding a boy. CW will get the Lord, but
Deleted.
Sans will fall. Sans can respawn back again. Keyboy will lose his life.
Ooh, now without Keyboy though, who is supposed to threaten the backline? Who is supposed to stop Beloyski and deny him from moving to the sideways, in the sidelines? 50 seconds on the clock.
It's a stalemate. Whenever Fnatic Onyx get the Lord, they can't even use it.
Yeah.
In fact, Geek Fam can clear the Lord so much faster here. The long death timers might really favor Geek Fam. Without the threat of Keyboy's engages, they can move forward right here. Maybe even get some more objectives on the map.
Wow. Now it take a breather. 24 minutes. Almost again a replay of that game where Geek Fam looked like they were the ones toppling down the Sky Kings. An Empire slowly shaking, trembling down with the arrival of the War Crime General. They want to siege, but they can't. The Lord easily taken down. Fnatic Onyx. They're not divine. Sans almost got assassinated.
That's crazy, man. You can't deny that Fnatic Onyx has great game plans, has great movements in the early game. But Geek Fam in the late game, they know how to make an impact. They know how to pick and choose their fights, man. No doubt, due to the shot calling of the War Crime General as well, 2 base turrets, the next one actually favoring them. If Geek Fam want to freeze this wave a bit longer, no, they just clear it out immediately. But technically, the wave did slow down. It did stutter for a bit in front of the base, in front of the turret right here. It might load up, but Kyrie immediately is on the case. Look at Geek Fam, dude. No risk whatsoever. They want to conserve every bit of outplay potential, every bit of gold they can use for an item swap for the next fight. With the death timer earlier already at 50 seconds, the next one will do it.
Yeah, I would argue that Fnatic Onyx also don't really have that side lane pressure. I mean, Tsuyo isn't the best, but then you have a Nolan on the opposite side of the map just waiting to cut the waves again, bounce it back towards your base. And now it's just harder for Fnatic Onyx to think about what they want to do. Maybe wait for the Lord to come back up again. But Geek Fam, they're defending the base so good. They have good wave clear as well. Again and again, we have repeated this time and time again. This Natan is just a menace for Fnatic Onyx to deal with. It's like their kryptonite. And the Sky Kings, they face a huge barrier to end this game.
Need to remember that for Fnatic Onyx, they can also use the passive of that Faramis on Sans to try and maybe bait Geek Fam into something. But again, it's a long waiting game. purple buff will be secured finally for Geek Fam. You can see Fnatic Onyx respecting now the small bits of damage that can be dealt by the members of Geek Fam. Attacking the wave. It's gonna get started here. Oh man, wait, they can set this up. They can leave that as a slow push and move away.
Yep. Pry on Lord now. But Geek Fam, they want to respond. And Kyrie just down bottom looking to maybe create a segue play, push the minions inside. But Geek Fam, they sense this, they smell this.
Oh, Kyrie has shown himself to try and deny that slow push that was set up by Geek Fam. So now they have a bit of a window. But again, with this spammable nature of the boy. Oh, hang on a minute.
Way to Dragon over to Veldora, but he does have to revitalize. No more Netherrealm though. Real Inflation coming down, able to zone them away. A boy able to escape the glorious pathway as well, but Rez. Immortality into the winner crown. Sans has the Netherrealm. Rez able to flicker out, but Sans has been compromised. His position very low. With the Stampede, he's able to escape. Kyrie in the bush. Oh, let's go for it. Oh. Kyrie spotted. Beloyski try to go for a shot.
Wow.
And just like that, we are back to the stalemate.
But look at this. When Fnatic Onyx are recovering, that's once again Chadera setting up that slow push, and now it's set. Now Geek Fam has to pressure long enough, hard enough to ensure that Fnatic Onyx can't make any pesky moves around the map.
They're matching the backer of Fnatic Onyx.
Oh,
On the
CW.
edge of the abyss. This seems very, very scary. CW might look for a split push, but there goes Sans, pulling Beloyski in.
It's a big gamble if Fnatic Onyx do this, because they will for sure lose out in the team fight without CW. It'll have to be
A backdoor angle.
It'll have to be a backdoor.
Yeah.
But again, the risk is it's a risk they have to take at this point.
Yeah, Geek Fam are just gonna play it textbook. They're just gonna play it patient as long as it takes, man. They are so close. They have gone this far. They might as well go all the way. Scouting the bottom side of the jungle here, Chadera can push a bit more decisively. Maybe Geek Fam can even send Vincent to assassinate CW mid-rotation. You can see the attempt to try to mitigate the burst damage coming in from that Natan, dude. The Twilight Armor is rolling in for the members of Fnatic Onyx.
And that's a slow push again, this time in the bottom lane. But
Yeah.
the thing is, right, even when you have these slow pushes, you can never blitz the Lord. So even if Geek Fam, let's say Fnatic Onyx show their jungle bot, you can't burst it. It's a 29-minute game. This Lord is tankier than, I don't know, Gatot Catcher plus a Hylos. Bringing Beloyski back into the way of the Dragon, but now, big mistake. Raging Sandstorm onto 2, but a boy still has a real rubber blade to zone them away. Vincent very low. Able to escape, only an immortality from Rez! A boy gets a kill on the Suns, who stepped a bit too far. That is the mistake that could cost them the game, but unfortunately for Geek Fam, it's a fair miss. Out of all the picks, it's a fair miss.
Yeah, it's a fair miss. It can spawn quickly. But the passive it has, and now again, back to full circle. Back to square one we go. It's a game of chess at this point, not checkers. And Fnatic Onyx, they want to advance further, but they can't.
And CW was trying to push the wave from out of sight using the Renner. He was spotted last on the bottom side. Geek Fam, what are they doing? Going straight for the Lord here. Are they going to go for a 50-50?
You can't burst it. There's no way to blitz it. Every time they start the Lord, it's never a commitment. Unless Chadera pops into Entropy. They're going all in on this. Looks like they just want to do it, but they don't know where Kyrie is. They know where CW is, and it is in the bottom lane. They want to go for the skirmish. Kyrie with the retry battle! T-Boy will lose his life though. And again, I feel it's a stalemate. There is absolutely no way. Geek Fam have dealt with the wave in the bottom lane. They will clear it, and they'll have an Natan. Fnatic Onyx, the Lord will spawn now, and T-Boy will be up in 60 seconds.
My oh my, again, the Sky Prince. He pulls it around from the rabbit hat. And there goes Fnatic Onyx. At least they're able to breathe much more easily, because now the Lord marches in, but again, Geek Fam will just clear it out easily. It's the same cycle over and over again, Arashi.
0 turtles, 0 lords for Geek Fam. And they're still in the game.
The real manipulation, Glorious Pathway, has been used defensively, but if it's used aggressively, it can be used to catch the members. Oh, Beloyski!
Flicker out of the Raging Sandstorm. Veldora still able to sustain, and again,
The Lord.
they're able to clear it out. There's not even a base turret take for Fnatic Onyx with the Lord advantage. This evolved Lord It's just like any other Lord.
Oh boy. Vincent now with the GDS. Kibo is still off the map for 10 seconds. Unfortunately for Geek Fam, trying to clear the wave so heavily here, they can't really go and force a fight. I was about to say, if they want to go for a decisive fight, Glover's pathway and real-world manipulation will do it, right? Fnatic Onyx can't really move away from it, so there's more ways for Geek Fam to go for a decisive move here compared to Fnatic Onyx. And that bottom side turret is looking really low, and normally that's still okay, but the fact that there's CW on the Beatrix here, there's a chance he can kind of sneak up and actually hit that base turret with a couple of runner shots. That could be the end of this equal, back and forth between the both teams.
This could be very poetic, folks. This is a Geek Fam basically giving Fnatic Onyx a taste of their own medicine, or at least a taste of the really old medicine for Fnatic Onyx, right? This is what they did against Echo and MSC. They were just defending, they got no lords, and they won. So if Geek Fam eliminate Onyx with this kind of playstyle, man, takes me back.
Karma comes fast at you. And that might be the case here with Fnatic Onyx. So far, they look to be the ones in control, but Geek Fam just waiting to fight back through the defenses that they have. And at this point, forget all the items and all of the gold leads. What do you want to do as Fnatic Onyx? You can't even siege. Look for a segue play, you can, but again, the response has been very quick. And I don't think Beatrix is that viable. Like, if you think of a Moskov, I think it is much more safer for you to do that split push, but then you don't have Beatrix.
Man, I really feel like it comes down to Fnatic Onyx engaging with the Way of the Dragon, and in the chaos, it has to be Kyrie. If Kyrie can find a way to get to the backline to really punish these very tanky backliners, that could be the solution. We'll look at that though.
Glorious pathway already committed down. Vincent with a poke, with some poke over the res. This time though, the Lord will be spawning in the bottom lane. So, Fnatic Onyx will actually have a slow push always. That's why Geek Fam are actually already on the Lord.
Again, advance maybe. Takes two to tango, and Geek Fam, they're up for the invitation, but again, what's really the premise of taking the Lord?
Beloyski finding two, and now Sans with another round. This might be it. Keyboy able to escape. Win a crown after the immortality have been popped. Sans buys the immortality again after with a crown. 30 seconds this time, not the 60-second death timers, not the instant respawn for Sans.
But it might be enough. The Beatrix shows on the top side. Fnatic Onyx, they're gonna let it go. Kyrie has backed away too.
The Lord is at 20,000 HP though. Keyboy walking up again, trying to go for Vincent. He needs to find it.
Kyrie.
They need to get the opening for Vincent if they want to win this game. Kyrie walking up.
Kyrie!
It's Kai! Ree again who saves the game! But Geek Fam get a massive pick. It is an 80-second death timer on Rez.
Time and time again, back-to-back robbery in broad daylight. The Sky Prince descends, and he becomes the savior for Fnatic Onyx. Geek Fam, rinse and repeat. It's all full cycle for Geek Fam now.
You would have thought that Geek Fam would go for the members first. You know that Fnatic Onyx desperately require that moment, right? Geek Fam had no rush at all. They're the ones who are fighting a team without a marksman, but they go straight for the Lord.
We got a new record.
Welcome to the longest game in MPL ID Season 14, overtaking that EVOS Glory game. The Fnatic Onyx against Geek Fam is officially the longest game we have right here in Season 14.
And we still have no goddamn idea when it's gonna end. Geek Fam are fighting for their life. Fnatic Onyx are fighting for their life. They don't want to commit to it. The retreat too from Kyrie is impeccable.
It's insane.
This is the first time in the history of my career as a caster that I've seen a game as stalematey as this.
You would think that with all the slows, with all the chase potential from Geek Fam, they would have been able to punish Kyrie and the rest of the members of Fnatic Onyx. They were just scrambling around that Lord pit, but now they're trying to set it up once more. The Lord is back on the side of Geek Fam without the base turret. You could say that in theory. Oh, hang on a minute. Oh, woo.
Man, every time there's just mini heart attacks everywhere.
That was close. How to say, you could say that technically Geek Fam has the better advantage. But man, now it's back to the waiting game. Oh boy, this has to be a very taxing moment for both teams. And technically, for the side of Geek Fam, you know, their members aren't really as battle tested, and you can say the same thing for Rez. Now, we're on a marathon. It's not about the sprint. It's not about the 10-second moment, the 10-second play you create in the Land of Dawn. It's about whether or not you can maintain your composure as we are approaching the 40-minute mark.
Oh my.
All eyes on Indonesia right now.
Brother, this is day one.
Day one!
Brother, this is day one.
We haven't been able to see the upper bracket teams play now. This is an elimination match. It becomes intense. Even more so than not Fnatic Onyx. Their backs against the wall. Geek Fam as well. Now, how do they want to figure this out? It becomes taxing as well. Mentally, of course. The players. How long can they hold their endurance? Their stamina. It all comes down to the mental game now. Like it or not, it affects you externally. And in-game, it feels like, again, they have to play this mental warfare. Now, Geek Fam, they have confidence to pop the pathway.
They have the pathway, but Sans has the Purify. Rez walks up, but Geek Fam walk back. It's all about that tango, man.
Yeah, but without the Purify, that's the window for Beloyski, man. Purify available for Chidera, getting the potion. Oh, Keyboy!
Going in, Radiant Sandstorm into the back, finding a boy. And now Rez is going to get caught. Beloyski with a quick throw and the implosion. Sans popping in another round to Rez, but he could be shoved away out of there. Beldora, Kyrie, the revitalized. Chidera getting caught along with Kyrie. Every time he goes on the Chidera, he's in a bad spot. A lot of waves marching towards Geek Fam, but again, Fnatic Onyx won't be able to blitz the Lord. No one can blitz the Lord. This is a 38-minute, 70. How much HP does the Lord have?
Oh, Geek Fam might want to commit onto this. They see CW approaching the bottom side.
No CW.
Chidera. Oh, Entropy. But Sans is able to use the Stampede to walk away. Bottom lane, CW building yet another slow push.
And then and a third as well. Down bottom still stays intact. I don't know how. He's able to pull it off. The Lord even, they're just juggling it away. Geek Fam. It's insane how they can hold for this long.
Are Geek Fam playing it too careful? A fight with Sans no Purify, a fight without CW, and they did not go for it. Dodora.
Real world equation, and the Purify is back up already from the last team fight. Sans able to escape, 90 seconds on the Purify. Bottom lane still slow pushing towards Geek Fam.
Wait a minute.
Keyboy, wait a flag, and this time onto a boy. That might be the winning play, but it's going to be cancelled down. Rez going to be locked out by Beloyski on the implosion and taken out, melted by Chidera. Yet another 80-second death timer on Rez.
Wow. As soon as someone collapses and dies, they don't want to continue, and there you go, the 40-minute mark.
I thought we were
This
gonna
is
have
a
countdown.
marathon.
I thought we were gonna have a countdown. It's wow. Now
Maybe
look
for
at
the 50-minute mark, Arashi.
Maybe, man.
10 more minutes.
60 seconds now. Surely, with the wave in their favor, with a man advantage, Geek Fam have to make a decisive call. They've turtled all this time. They've played it patient, but they need to do something, and Beloyski is looking for it.
Yeah, this Lord, again, in the dying arms of Geek Fam. Kyrie still trying to figure out where he wants to maneuver. The zoning is very, very good. Chidera, he pops it forward. The Lord is low.
Chidera will secure it. And Geek Fam, for the first time in Game 5, have secured a neutral objective. An Evolved Lord at the 40th minute.
What is this game, dude? The numbers are off the charts for sure when it comes to the EXP and the gold. It's been a long, arduous struggle, but now it's only a 2K difference. Kyrie, though, trying to draw members to the top side.
Vincent in the 1v1, Kyrie escaping, but in the base, you only have the Beatrix.
They siege.
The siege. One of the castle walls has been taken down. Sans very low. The Sky King's in desperate need of a defense. Kyrie has immortality. CW caught in the midst of it all. Chidera deletes him. Keyboy is next. Sans will fall as immortality. Kyrie with a stunner. Tries to survive, tries to save his empire. But in the end, let the sky fall. Let it crumble. The oppressive regime of the Sky Kings has come to an end. And he who stands tall are the
crown is slowly losing its rings. And here it ends. The story from a golden road journey to a consistent 4-peat. They built an everlasting empire. The kings of the skies, the kings of Indonesia, the Sky Kings, kings no more. Their dominance overthrown, their empire seized. And for the first time in 4 seasons, MPL Indonesia will crown a new champion.
It was definitely a tough game for both teams. It only took 40 minutes. That will be it. Geek fam against all odds in an arena that was cheering, that was hollering the names of the old rulers of Indonesia. Geek fam has prevailed.
What a sight to behold.
We're witnessing history in the making as we speak. How has this happened?
Pandemonium in El Dorado. Pandemonium in Bandung. The sea of fire burns Fnatic Onyx to a cinder. We will not see them in M6.
The dream shattered. Fnatic Onyx, this lineup. For the first time in 2 years, MPL Indonesia will have a new champion. For the first time in 2 years, we will see Fnatic Onyx lose in the playoffs. Not make it to a world championship, not make it to an international.
These are weird times we're living in, but we're all here for it, man. Geek fam. As much as surprising as it was that Fnatic Onyx failed to continue in the playoff stage, Geek fam did an amazing job. This level of composure, this patience is just absolutely unheard of, dude.
The sky has fallen.
How poetic though. For it to all end in the hands of once a teammate of Kyrie and Yeb. Oh, Big Brain Baloyski. The man who has always been second to this very team, who's always been beaten by this very team, is the one to end the era.
Now's the panelist. Take it away.
Sang Raja Langit harus terhenti dan mereka pun telah memberikan pertarungan yang begitu berkelas. The 4-peat Champions gagal untuk melengkapi cincin kelimanya. Namun, mari kita dengarkan bersama-sama kata-kata terakhir karena ini adalah panggung mereka terakhir di season 14. Fnatic Onyx, dipersilahkan.
Paling kalau